Hello YouTube, welcome back. I'm recording this one off schedule, so there's no camera today. We're just going to have pure Dwarf Fortress delivered directly into your eyeballs. Well, I say directly. It's coming from me to you via the medium of an intermediary. Old man YouTube. Bringing you the vids. What am I talking about? Let's get on with the game, shall we? So, the main focus of last session and the sessions before was the dousing of magma in order to retrieve adamantine. So, with that in mind, let's get back on it and hope that things happen quickly this time. I'm slightly perturbed by this tree that's grown here. This isn't a good sign. I don't want trees stopping the water falling. That's not good. So we're gonna say chop that one, please. We're also going to unpause so when I'm not actually doing stuff, the dwarves are mucking around and carrying on with their dailies. Let's come back up here. Now we've got this chamber here that we filled with water to douse the magma below, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to cause any kind of obsidianification. So what we're going to do is we're going to dig another few Z levels above. We've got this one, 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 and I believe this one, but no more than that. That's about 8, maybe 9, I think it's 8 Z levels of water that we're going to dump on top of the magma all at once. And we're going to see how it goes. Of course, before I can do any of that, fastidious little me must remove all of the orthoclase and various other lumps of stone that lay around here. Because, I mean, we don't want them plopping down into the water, do we? They'll be falling forever. I say water, I mean the hot red stuff, you know, melted stone. Magma, that's the word I'm looking for. That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, we don't want them plopping into that, because they'll sink. And they'll be sinking for a long time and cause frame rate loss, which is never good. I wonder if I could somehow prioritise these two little boulders here to get hauled away. Look at a pair of them sitting there. Like a little pair of testicles gloating at me and saying, "No, you can't dig out this channel, scoundrel. Why would we let you do that? That would be insane." Hello, Righteous. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Let's start adding more digging to this row here, I think. Actually, why am I using my mouse? What a heathen. Let's first of all set it to channel rather than mining, because that will actually work and remove some of the gubbins on the floor. Oh, by the way, in case anyone's wondering, what I've done this session is I've returned on the old scripts that were running before that picked up all the dirty washing, all the knackered old clothing. So all this crap we've got laying around up on the surface here, although it may not be laying around anymore. Yeah, it does look like they've done something about it. But we've got a bit of loose clothing knocking around here. Chicken leather cap, turkey leather cap, bird leather. All that clothing should be gathered up and dumped into the active dump zone, which may cause irritation. But I just want to get it out of the... Look around here. Look at all this crap on the floor. It's cave spider silk socks, pigtail socks, just strewn all over the straw, alpaca wool dress. What has happened here? I mean, I like to imagine that late in the night, a pair of dwarves have had a little meeting where they've had a little bit of a carnal interaction. They sneakily stuck it into the guild hall and gone, "This is it. The guild hall is literally the sauciest place we could do this. Rip off my knickers, slap me on that table, and let's get going. Bang, bang, bang." I mean, obviously that's not usually how those kind of things begin. The language is all off. But hey, never mind. Hello, Salty Sweeted. Welcome to the stream. Saltly Sweeted. I do apologise. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. Ocelot says, "Scoundrel, you don't need to dig out every floor tile, just every other one with a line between. That will drain just as fast and take far less time to complete." Do you think so? Will it drain just as fast? I'm not sure that's entirely true, but I'm willing to behave as though it is in order to speed things along. So what you're saying is every other tile, don't dig out any, then dig out every other tile. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? I'll let these digging designations get done first. I won't fanny around until after they've done these, and then we'll leave this one blank. Actually, I can put them all in at once in this case, can't I? Let's see. Let's see if this makes sense. Where's my cursor? Here it is. So we leave this one blank, and then we do every other tile like this. Good. Oh, you bastard orthoclase. How bloody dare you. What a monster. What a barbarian. And are you confident, Ocelot, that this will drain as quickly and won't impede the flow of liquids? How confident are you? Willing to wager your life essence on it? No, don't do that. I don't want to be receiving any envelopes containing anything that could be considered your life essence through the post. Thank you very much. Here we go. Or anyone's for that matter. Please, no life essence in the mail. Not what I'm looking for. Even if it's like a rejuvenating Skexy potion extracted from podlings. I don't want it, alright? I don't want it. Just keep your life essence to yourself. Thank you very much. Having said that, if you've got any of the good stuff from Gelflings, we can talk. But I'm not really keen on the idea of huffing down podling essence. What am I talking about? Let's have a little look. You'll have to leave some water behind, 1 to 7 on each tile, but you have totally over-engineered it. The pressure will be the same. Okay. You can drain an entire ocean through 1 tile in seconds. Can you? No, Righteous. No, any effort involved on my part completely nullifies my desire for life essence, that is. You know, not in general. No, it doesn't make me completely inert without any kind of impetus to action. Right, here we go. Let's get this floor done first, see how long it takes, and then... Oh, God, there's always all the clays just sitting there, being a little dick. I'm concerned that this is all going to collapse immediately. I have no reason to really think it will. It looks stable, at least, but I am concerned that it's going to cause some kind of awful waffle cave-in. Okay, here we go. I shall call this the waffle drain. We'll dig it out and we'll see what happens. Hopefully I've got enough dwarves to get this done. I think it will actually happen quite quickly. We've got about 5 or 6 miners at least. Let's have a look in Dwarf Therapist and find out. How many miners have we got? And I don't mean children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's about right. I think we'll get that done fairly quickly. If they all come down here, of course, that is. From the flashing yellow I see, I think they will. But these first 2, I think, are probably going to do quicker. Here we go. Do I even want to tap the drain from here? Because at the point I tap it, it's not going to flow past it. So, I mean, maybe we should just fill it from the top to avoid any risks of pressure not filling it up. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go up to the surface quickly and take a look at my stockpiles of stone to see if they're dealing with the orthoclase. Ah, I see what's happened here. Where we're collecting both orthoclase and granite, we appear to have stockpiled quite a substantial quantity of granite. So, it is the... excuse me, hiccups. It is the stockpile over here that's active, isn't it? The orthoclase one? Let's find out. Where's my cursor gone? There it is. What's this? Yes, this is the active one. So, do I... No, actually, no question about it, I do. I'm going to deactivate the orthoclase garbage dump. And I'm going to go and find the one that's got the granite in. Because I think it's this one, isn't it? Yeah, baby. We're going to go there, press I, activate. And then I'm just going to check with the DBD that we don't have any orthoclase designated for dumping. No, that's good. No. He's pressed the motherfucking DBD. And then we click here, come back out and say, now dump me some granite. So, just click back on that stockpile there. Press I to go into its inventory. This, just discovering that I can do this is life-changing. I say life-changing. That's probably a little bit exaggerative. It's it's Dwarf Fortress changing for sure. I really enjoyed that. Are there really 26 pieces of orthoclase in here? Huh. Didn't realise. Let's get this granite out. Granite is what we want to remove. We want to get the orthoclase up the stairs. So dumping granite is going to free up more space in the stone stockpile, and therefore cause greater suction on the orthoclase in lower levels. Maybe. Hello, Arctrect. DF during daylight. What madness is this? Well, I mean, I'm getting a little tired of this fortress, if I'm honest. And I thought, I've got a chance to stream today. I could stream something just random, off schedule. But seeing as I'm recording this, and the VOD will be there for those who really want to watch it, I figured just carry on with Dwarf Fortress. Get this fortress powered through. Get that goddamn adamantine. Get it made into something. Have your dwarves flounce around in it a bit. Kill some baddies. And then we can get onto a new fortress. Unless, once we get the adamantine, something about this fortress becomes compelling once more. Because we'll see what happens. It is entirely possible that a whole new plan will arise. I mean, we never did anything with the waterfall, did we? We never did anything with the waterfall. In fact, the major features of this fortress have been largely ignored. I say this fortress, this area, this region. I haven't really done much with them, have I? Kel may have something to say about that. What, the extraction of fluids? We'll see. We shall see. It wasn't even fluids, was it? It was just essence. Nondescript essence. Although, you know, if you imagine a congealed essence, most of the time you would imagine it as some kind of fluid, right? Or not. Maybe not. Maybe some of you consider your own essences to be some kind of substrate. What's the process where a solid falls out of a liquid? I think it begins with S. No. Ah, God. Curse you chemistry lessons, why won't you stay with me? What's it? Precipitate? Is it precipitate? I don't think it is. I think the action of it falling is precipitation, but the process that creates it. We don't have any chemists in chat. I'm glancing fruitlessly. There's no point. Okay, what's going on here? We've been drawn over to this point, and it says, a leatherworker has been possessed. Oh my goodness. What sort of delights will this possessed leatherworker produce? Is it going to be super exciting chaps and little caps? Or is it going to be something less suggestive? Come on, get to your workshop. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ignore him. I know most of the time we follow the mooded dwarves around just to get a sense of what's going on, but I feel like the orthoclase granite hauling system deserves more of my attention at the moment. It needs a little bit more of my gaze. I remember precipitate, but that was over 30 years ago. Exactly, that's my problem. Condensation is what makes precipitation. I suppose that, yes, in the case of clouds and stuff, that is very true, but we're talking about, like, taking it down a material phase. Rather than having liquids forming in gases, we're thinking about having solids forming in liquids. There is a special word for it, and I think we may have already said it and it just didn't ring the bell. I think it is just precipitate. What's it called? Why am I even desperate to remember what it's called now? Was there a reason this was on my mind? I don't know. Liquefaction? No. That's something different, I'm sure. A liquefaction would be turning a solid into a liquid. Probably without melting it, maybe? Or maybe it does include melting. I suppose, by definition, turning a solid into a liquid is melting, isn't it? Actually, no, isn't liquefaction what happens when particles take on liquid-like properties through either vibration or passing of gases through them? What? It is precipitate. Well done, Arctrect. Your Google foo is strong. Why are we paused? Unpause. I'm not interested in paused nonsense. Oh, it's because he's claimed a leatherworks. That's why. He can get on with his job now. He's mooding all over the place. He's not staying in the leatherworks, so presumably the things he wants are out there. Let's get back down to the digging zone and see how things are progressing. Ooh, progressing very well, it would seem. I like. With that in mind, then, let us build a floodgate here. Okay, and I'm also going to build a lever just over here to control that floodgate. I know, madness, but sometimes madness is what the world needs. Okay, it looks like they're collecting some of this orthoclase now, which is good. I'm very happy about that. Wait a minute. It's okay, the room below is full. And the water isn't coming up. If I open the floodgate on this lower level, will the water well up? There's an interesting prospect. Actually, we should probably put a floodgate on the other entrance, shouldn't we? Otherwise it's just going to put water in the fortress. BX. Go. Pop that one in there. We're going to need another lever. So let's put that in now. Question mark. That's not what I asked for. I said B, capital T, L. Thank you very much. There we go. Put that one there. I don't know which one we'll actually use for which floodgate, but I'm sure it'll be exciting to find out. Hopefully we don't wall anybody in. That's the thing that we want to happen least. We do not want dwarves walled in. Because, I mean, well, they could starve to death for one thing. They could be tempted to jump through the holes in the floor to escape and end up plopping onto a sturdy glass bridge in too shallow water, shattering their femurs. If dwarves even have femurs. I'm not so up to date on the skeleton build of a dwarf. Skeleton build? If it's congealing, that almost sounds like emulsification. Emulsification is when particles, go round the particles of the fluid it's in, isn't it? So you get, like, in the milk, you get the fat particles going around the water particles in the milk. And that's an emulsion, I think. Something to do with butter. I remember shaking milk very vigorously as a child in school in order to illustrate these principles, but the actual meaning of those actions has somehow gone, and now only the repetitive shake of my fist remains. Wait a minute. Okay, let's not follow that. Let's not look too deeply into that. Let's not engage in any kind of psychoanalysis or Freudian nonsense, thank you very much. Let's all just get on with the dwarf fortress, because frankly, that's what we're here to do. That is our current objective. The fortification of dwarven lives. If it's stop talking about chemistry, it's making me go to sleep. I'm sorry, Righteous. Terribly sorry. Shh, euphemisms? No. I only engage in elderly euphemisms. Ah, what a pun. My kids have started taking to congratulating Kel every time she does a pun now, which I find infuriating, because it doesn't matter how good a pun I pull out is. It's like, oh, Daddy, stop it. Whereas Mummy does one. Oh, and suddenly Mummy's the greatest fucking wordsmith the universe has ever seen. I would try to claim I'm not jealous, but I am furiously jealous. Oh, dear. Come on, dwarves, get up here. Either put that floodgate in, or the lever, or whatever. I don't mind, but I want to see some action. I can't sit here waiting for too long. Maybe I should channel out some of these floors above in the same style. Let's do it. Let's put these channeling orders in, just so our dwarves have got something to do, you know? Okay, so we'll start on the corner. Why not? Here we go, all the way across. It's just lots and lots of gaps. Not going to do that one, because there's currently a bit of orthoclase. No, that's not orthoclase. Come on, scoundrel. Know your stones. That's microcline. It's a basic rookie mistake. He'll be thrown out of the Dwarf Fortress community for things like that. Just, you know, try and keep up. There we go. Ah, look at that. So much perfectly placed stone impeding progress. There we go. Come on, you can do this. I'm talking to myself like I'm running a fucking marathon here. I don't know why. It's very much more than is necessary. Okay, here we go. We can go backwards. Look at this. Oh my god, we're going the other way. I suppose I could do it like this, couldn't I? Oh my god, now we're entering into whole new worlds of madness. What am I doing? No! Okay, we're going to do it this way though. Blocked. 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 Blocked! Oh my god, everything's blocked! That's not blocked though. There we go. And we're going back on ourselves. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh god. Wait, no, don't do that. Cancel. There we go. Phew, we nearly broke the pattern there. There we go. We're getting there. Nicely laid out there. Good. Okay. This has got to be the most tedious part of the stream, right? It's like people must watch this and go, oh god no, he's designating large swathes of stuff again. His concentration is going to be almost entirely on his tippy-tappy fingers going across that bloody keyboard. Come on, say something amusing. And no, there is no response. Well, let's try doing this way. Yeah, we've got like that one, that one, that one, that one. No, tell you what, if I do that, then this. Haha! Perfect. Okay. We're doing well here. Here we go. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, bang. Look at that. A whole floor designated in one go. Oh my god. I could do columns of channeling jobs going up the Z levels. And that would do more than one floor at once. Or we could use the GUI stamper just to do the whole floor. Then again, that's inevitably going to designate where there are lumps of stone, and I want all that stone gathered and placed in appropriate quantum stockpiles. I don't want it sitting up there. No, sir. Not me. Not at all. Right. It looks like they've slowed down on the autoclaves, but luckily we can also see that they've built both this and the floodgate, so we can link that up. Add... No, I clicked on the wrong thing, haven't I? Click there. Add... Link to floodgate. G? No. What was G? Floor grate. Okay, nothing of the sort. We could make loads of floor grates to go on each of these holes. That seems it seems like a big delay, doesn't it? But we could do that. Right, where are the floodgates? F, of course. Floodgates begin with F, except in the other menus. There we go. Link that up. We'll use that lovely pair of masterwork mechanisms. We'll put an urgency order on that and then close it off. Here they come. I thought for a second that guy was actually going to do it immediately. It was blowing my tiny little mind. Actually, now that I think about it, if we're going to fill this thing from the top, this floodgate here is absolutely redundant. Don't need it at all. In fact... Maybe I'll remove it. We shall see. This room is yet to experience the glory of channeling. What about this room here? We are going to have to move a lot of microcline. They're moving the orthoclase okay. There's only a few little yellow spots here and there now. This bit here, which will be done as soon as they open that gate. And then these little bits here, which appear to be... They're going to be gone before we even know it. Next time we come down here, they're going to be gone, because they're the only accessible bits of autoclaves until that lever gets flipped. Let's come back up to the top here. Check out our lovely little stockpile. Ooh, look at all that sweet, sweet orthoclase. Also, it looks like there's not too much granite in here at the moment. And I would have thought there was still a large amount of granite available, but apparently not. Intriguing. Let's dump the granite that is there, because we've got 10 idlers, and that's not a good number of idlers to have. We've got to keep those dwarves active and busy. Here's the granite. We've got 5 pieces here to dump, and 4 that are in a job currently, presumably on their way to the depot. The depot? The stockpile. Whatever. Here we go. Okay. So the orthoclase and granite stockpile's doing well. Should I maybe start dumping some of the rhyolite from this upper stockpile here? Repetitive E action. Goodness me. Presumably you mean the keyboard and not the drug. Presumably. Excuse me, that big snort didn't sound great in the microphone, did it? A big old snotty sniff. That, of course, not a snotty sniff. That was more of a simulated sniff snot. Snoff snip? Sniff? Sniff it? Sorry, my brain appears to be melting. Come on, dwarfs. Shift that granite into that stockpile as quick as you can, and then we can get down to the business of orthoclase removal. Let's also ship on down here. Has this been linked up yet? Got both levers now. This lever is superfluous. I'm going to remove it. I'm also going to remove that motherfucker there, and we're going to flip this switch. Hasn't been linked yet. Can't do anything with it. Don't worry about it, scoundrel. Come on. Ooh. Blam. They've rocked through these, haven't they? Super fast. Okay, let's do it again. DH. Here we go. I'm channeling. I'm a channeling. So we come in here and bang, 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 bang. Okay, that's not going to fly, is it? That's going to be... What have I done? Oh, hold on a minute. Hang on a minute. Oh, I'm having a big brain moment. Just hang on. Oh, this is going to be galaxy brain shit. It's going to be so much quicker. Oh, can you feel it? Can you feel the power surging from my fingers? No, I don't think you can. I don't think anyone fully understands the scope of what's going on. Some of you may have an inkling. Some of you might be going, oh, I see, yeah, I think I see what's happening here, but you won't realise the glory until the final execution. You only get a vague, internal sort of model that your brain has built of what I'm doing, not the actual experience of the real thing. Get ready for your cerebral cortex to light up like a fucking Christmas tree! Excuse me, I'm getting a little bit overexcited here. Da 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 da. It's incredible. Look at this. Oh, first lay, then remove, and then we have to go through and do the individual stone bearing tiles. But what the hell? Why didn't I think of this sooner? Someone in chat probably literally told me to do this some time ago, and I completely ignored it. Almost certainly, in fact. Right, here we go. Wait a minute. I've been instead. It's okay. So it's going to need minor correction, that's all. So there's supposed to be a tile there, not there, not there. Okay, cool. We can sort that out. There we go. And then a tile there, but not here. Bang. There we go. Look at this. Not a dry gusset in the realm. The excitement is too much for most to bear. Excuse me, a little bit too pink there. Need to try and tame it down a bit. Make things a little bit more, well, I don't know. Family friendly is probably the wrong phrasing. I don't think it is my destiny to make a family friendly, advertiser friendly channel. I feel like there's always going to be some friction in those realms. Right, come on, where's all this stone? Show me the stony spots. This one here, yep. That one there, lovely. Any more stone that's vanishing? Yeah, that one. Okay, maybe this is actually slower than the other method. Go. Any more? There's one there. Oh, it's so frustrating. There's one there. Good. Down here. Yep, down here. There we go. Any more? Okay, I think we're good. Try to relax my eyes so I can see the sort of double flash where the designation goes over a boulder. I think we're good. We can reinsert these holes. Oh, careful. Careful. There we go. Okay, we've done another floor. Hooray! Progress. Sweet, sweet progress. Oh, looks like someone's actually doing the... Hey, wait a minute. How'd this guy get in? What the ballyhoo? We got a couple of miners stuck in here. We don't need this. Oh, thank you very much, Verumamo. Welcome to the stream, and thank you for the raid. Thank you very much. 7 people. What a group. What a gang. Let me just flip this switch. Oh, they still haven't linked the trigger. Oh, this is exactly what I was concerned about. I was concerned that we would end up with starving dwarves sitting around, locked in a room, and here we are. Here we are in that very scenario. All my concerns become flesh. Oh, look, the thumbnail in my my little slideshow became appropriate all of a sudden. I look concerned. Let's have a look in chat and see what's going on here. One day I will have to teach you about recording and playing macros. The Ocelot, I think I've dabbled with that before, but I don't think I've ever really given it enough attention to really pick up the skill, so to speak. Is it really a skill? Is it a skill? I'm not sure. Maybe it's more of an art. Will do. Enjoy your lunch. I should have had some lunch today, but I didn't bother. Or breakfast. I'm going to make dinner my first meal. It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Everybody stop worrying. Oh, we're in the middle of a save. That was perfect time for me to go and look at chat, wasn't it? Perfect time to glance over and see what's happening. Everybody all right over there? Nobody's fighting with their siblings or not strapped in or whatever? Why am I likening this stream to a car journey? That's a weird thing to do, isn't it? Maybe once the save is finished, the game will regain my attention and will stop making such weird little outbursts. Come on, save. Let's get this done. We need to make this magma dousing machine. Can we call this a machine? I don't think we can call it a machine, can we? Some kind of arrangement? A configuration? But a machine? I don't think so. There are not enough integrated moving parts for me to really give it that definition, even though it does contain mechanisms and levers, but only for the filling aspect, not for the emptying. Oh wait, no, there is an emptying lever. Squigger2 says, I'm proud of my state at least, no matter what way things go, there's that. Plus my state legalised pot, so that's awesome. If you don't mind me asking, which state is that? I have been deliberately not closely following the American elections, so I don't really know what's going on. It's all underway though, isn't it? It's in full swing. Is it tonight? Well, congratulations, Arizona, on gaining legalised cannabis sativorium. Oh, lovely. But yeah, went blue for the first time since 1996. Now your colours are reversed, aren't they? So your right-wing guys are red, and you went so you've gone a Democrat. Intriguing. I mean, I like that. That seems good to me. I like that. But it seems like this election, you guys have very much been presented with a big spoon and a little spoon and an enormous bowl of shit. And you've had to decide which spoon you're going to use. And, fair enough. I'm assuming people are going to mainly vote for the small spoon. I mean, you've got a lot of shitivores. That's not a good phrase, is it? Shitivore? Poopivore? Fecavore. That sounds better, doesn't it? There are quite a few fecavores knocking around, willing to grab that big spoon and, get as much on it as they can. But I feel like you're probably better off going for the little spoon. I consider myself independent, but I'm a registered Democratic because, enormous bowl of shit. Yeah. It's not even like the Democratic option was a little grain of sweet corn in the shit. It was actually just another nondescript lump of turd. Hey-oh, whatever. At least it was smaller, right? At least it was smaller. Trump is already planning his coup. Oh, man. Well, we'll see what happens. If nothing else, we live in interesting times. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, enough of this politics nonsense. There's nothing turns a stream sour quicker than talking about politics, is there? We've all seen it happen. We've all seen it happen. You express a political opinion and suddenly nobody's happy. Excuse me. Although, let's face it, we all have them. We've all got an opinion. Oh, a mysterious construction has begun. That's good. That would be the leather maker. It took him a while to gather all those ingredients, didn't it? Then again, we did spend quite a bit of time paused putting all those holes in the floor, so we'll see. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't we already have a vile force of darkness hanging around outside? Are we not already secured in our fortress? A vile force of darkness has arrived. Okay, lovely. Wait a minute, are they elves? Dwarves? What? Okay. Anyway, let's go down. We're sealed in. There's not anything they can do against us. They cannot do jack shit against us. I mean, they're completely helpless. They can't get in. There's nothing they can do outside that will bother us. So, I mean, basically, let's just ignore them. We'll ignore them for now, and then if we need to, we'll deal with them at a later date. But for now, we're fine. We've got enough wood? Got enough beds? Let's check our wood stockpile. Yeah, we've got wood. It's fine. We've got beds backed up in the stockpiles. It's fine. And look at all these rooms. Do we really need to worry about beds? I don't think we do. Are these already engraved, these walls? No, just smooth. What's LRU LRD? LRU LRD. Oh, LRD. We should probably set this to be smoothed off as well, shouldn't we? Let's do it. DS. There we go. Lovely little smoothing order. Pop that in here. And you know what? Now might also be the time, on a low priority though, to mine out some of this gold. Because frankly, it's just sitting in the walls otherwise, and we're going to need it. So I'm going to say priority 7, Control V, And then all we got to do is say, actually, I would rather you didn't dig out all of the gold, please. Anything that's been smoothed, leave in the wall. Lovely. I don't know why you would want to say it like that, but that's the way I said it. Okay, that's a nice little digging order sitting there at the bottom of the queue waiting for the dwarves when they're ready. Okay, so not much going on this floor. Elves and goblins together, says Moonin2. No. I mean, what's going on the surface has nothing to do with my fortress. Elves do not get to team up in my fortress. There's only one good use for an elf, and that is to acquire exotic animals through. So, you know, anything else? Unacceptable. Unacceptable. I watch a stream 5 mornings a week that starts with a 1 to 3 hour political discussion, and it's an amazing community because we only ever have to ban anyone maybe once a week, and it's usually just a rando troll. Well, that sounds good. I mean, if your entire channel, or at least a large proportion of your channel, does revolve around politics, then I suppose that makes a lot of sense. That's the draw. That's what's pulling people in. But for me, personally, I feel like I have a disparate enough political opinion that it will annoy enough people that it will hamper my ability to make them smile. Or maybe even laugh. Who knows? Is that what I'm trying to do here? Is comedy the purpose of this stream? It's hard to say, isn't it? It's hard to say. You watch it, you get a vague sense of its outline, its shape, its form. But then you sort of watch it for a bit longer and go, is this meaningless babble? Is this nonsense? Am I being maddened too? Not maddened, like in the game. I mean, like the mental state? Help. Okay, we're going to start from the bottom left corner again. We're going to do the whole same ritual once more, except this time we're going up to priority 4, because we've got priority 7 shit upstairs. We don't need to worry about priority 7 shit. Oh, crap, pressed the enter too soon. No, don't do this, scoundrel, come on. You're a good lad, you try hard sometimes. Why not now? Why have you got to beans it all up now? What's different about this particular moment? There we go. Moving all the tops of the stones, blah 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 blah. Maybe this is the stage in which I should be avoiding all of the stones, rather than doing it as a removal after the fact. I suppose I could completely designate the entire floor for digging as well, and then just remove alternate rows. Oh, it's too much to think about. Hello, Squigger2. Oh, hello. Sorry. Thank you for the follow, Squigger2. Got a little bit overexcited there. Saw my own face flash up twice on the screen, and I was like, oh, hello. Who's this handsome chap? Sorry. I will try to exercise a degree of restraint in the future. Come on. Let's dig out all this. Lovely. Did I press enter? I didn't press enter. That's a key problem when you are trying to get rid of square designations. There we go. Oh, this time overrun, not so much of an issue, because you're only removing the designations rather than adding them. So I can just go as far over as I like without fear of causing a kerfuffle. Lovely. Okay, here we go. Removing the squares. Removing the squares. There we go, we removed all those squares. Now, are there any on this row that contain... Yes, done. Okay, what about this row? Quick examination of the row. Only this one. This row. Anything on here? No. Anything on here? No, obviously not. There's no designations on that row. That one. We're good. This one? No. This one. Yep. Oh, loads of them on this one. Well, I say loads of them. 3 of them. Here we go. What about this row here? Yep, one there. One there. Okay, this is going slightly quicker than the last array of designations. Only slightly, though. I wouldn't say this is happening with great speed. With alacrity. With lightning-like rapidity. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Got a couple more bits and bobs here. Oh, bugger. I had to de-designate one that wasn't actually a thing, didn't I? There we go. Good. Right, now the dwarves can deal with that. That'll be good. And then we've got this floor as well. Looks like the last of the granite's being hauled up now. Any more granite? There's a little bit of granite on this floor. It's pretty much all orthoclase and microcline. And oh shit, I forgot about our stranded miners. Have you been linked up? Yes. Add pull now. There we go. That'll open up the gate. That'll make sure that they get their freedom and their ability to go and do some eating, drinking, and sleeping. No, I suppose not that they can't sleep here. They can sleep here. Oh, actually, we could put in some of the missing dig designations while they're here, couldn't we? Looks like some of the orthoclase was reclaimed before the access was removed. Good. Very good. Good. Is that it? I think I've done it. Good. Do I want to also dig out this one? Why not? It makes a little ugly stick out bit. Okay, there we go. Oh, they're not doing anything. Oh, they are. It's fine. It's fine. Ah, I've just realised the old siege on the surface is going to be a bit of a frame thief, isn't it? Oh, only one of them wants to do the mining, it would seem. Perhaps the other one's in trouble. May have wounded himself. You never know. It's relatively easy to put a pickaxe through your foot, I suppose. I mean, if you're going to put anything through your foot, the weight and momentum of a pickaxe is probably going to be a good choice, right? Relatively good. Like, if the only thing you're judging it on is penetration. Obviously, if you're judging it on pain, just don't put anything through your foot. Unnecessary, I would say.
Rovard Dusimemel, the leatherworker, has created Langud Idos, a reindeer leather low boot. He claims it as an heirloom in the name of the family ancestor, Moral Tinspeak.
Interesting. Let's have a look at this low boot. Presumably he's made the one, not a pair, which is a bit weird.
The Shin of Corals, a reindeer low boot.
Reindeer leather low boot, sorry. Let's have a little look. Let's have a little peeky poo. It's worth 47 grand, which is a lot of money for a single boot, I would say. But let's see if the description backs up the cost. Let's have a little look in chat quickly. Comedy is the reason I watch. Well, there we go. That seems to be a reasonable thing to aim for, to reach for. And Swiggertoo is just too lazy to leave after the raid, which means I need to practice my soporific voice.
I need to lower the tone, speak more flatly, and not have any peaks or troughs that would allow me to be drawing people out of the embrace of sleep.
That's it, Swiggertoo. Fall asleep. Watching the channel. Fall asleep. There we go. There we go. Now that I've hypnotised some of the more suggestible members of the audience, they will remain members of the audience for the foreseeable future. Excellent. When you wake up... Sorry. Hello? Hello? What are you doing? You're back from school?
Outside.
What are you looking for? The switch. I put a new screen protector on it, okay? So be very careful. I had to rub a lot of unidentifiable gunk off of that screen before I could put the screen protector on. Any idea how that got there?
No.
No? I love you. Enjoy your switch. You want to say hello to the stream viewers? There's no camera, it's just the microphone.
Hello.
Hello? What the hell? That's not a word. There we go. That's it. You looking at chat? Let me just scan chat to make sure there's nothing brain-meltingly awful in there. Yeah?
Someone else had said hello.
Oh, gives a kiss. I'll be down a bit later on, okay? You play your Switch?
Yeah.
You can play Spore if you want. I'm not using Steam. Whoa, careful, mind those crisps. Let me hold those while you open the door. There you go. Are you intending to put all of the grease from these crisps on the Switch screen or just some of it? Just some. Okay, well, wash your hands after you've eaten the crisps.
It's the screen protector getting dirty, not the actual Switch.
What about the buttons and the sticks?
Yeah.
You want them full of, palm oil congealed fat? Oh. You get out of here, you. Love you. Sorry, that was my daughter invading. Let us return to the... what time is it? 3:30. No wonder they're back from school.
This is a reindeer leather low boot. All craftsdwarfship is of the highest quality. It is decorated with applewood and encircled with bands of reindeer leather, ibex leather, sheep bone, apricot wood, and radiant cut praise opals. This object menaces with spikes of giant chipmunk leather and rope reed. On the item is an image of an opossum man in morganite. On the item is an image of Moral Nutsflaws, the dwarf in sheep wool.
Moral Nutsflaws. I mean, interesting. Interesting. Reminds me of an anecdote from the days when I worked at a working men's club and a man decided to relieve his nuts onto the floor of the toilet, and I nearly slipped on it and broke my neck. It was an interesting evening. An interesting evening. Anyway, enough of that. We don't want to dwell on the anecdote. That was an interesting item, wasn't it? Very exciting reindeer leather low boot, if a bit odd as an individual object and not part of a pair. Interesting. Oh, Mr. Swerwer, why are you so quiet? Please, begin to play. Thank you. Earhole tickling. Oh, it's an attempt, a thing I try to do. It's good. My friend's partner says henlo all the time. This is the first time I've been introduced to the henlo meme. And my God, having children introduces you to memes like nothing else. I am aware of memes that I kind of wish I wasn't aware of these days. Let me put my other headphone in, which is probably a bad idea. There's going to be people yelling at me from downstairs saying, "Can you help me?" And I'm going to be unable to hear them. But it's great for the stream, isn't it? It's what you'd like. Then again, if you do hear someone saying anything along the lines of "house is on fire, someone's hurt," etc., etc., do let me know. Do let me know. Please relay the message. Don't leave me in ignorance. That would be a terrible thing to do. Literally, you would be responsible for any bad thing that happened. Where was I? That's why I'm here to laugh my little socks off to an anecdote like that. Well, there you go. There you go. He drank brandy and lemonade. He used to sit at the bar and try to chat up the bottle boy. I remember it very well. Anyway, I've now hypnotised myself by scratching the little patch of eczema on my leg that I probably shouldn't be touching, and now I can't resist. It's terrible. I hope the microphone's not picking that sound up. Disgusting. Okay, where were we? Let's get back to the Dwarf Fortress. This is nonsense I'm babbling now. Let's get back to the Dwarf Fortress and sort this out. So, down in the deep mines, we have our waffle drain pattern being created. Still quite a lot of microcline to collect, but the orthoclase situation does seem to be under control now. We very much want someone to come and flip this switch and release these miners. They're probably good miners as well. What have we got here? It's Robot in Progress and Nico Live. Both of them relatively good, I would presume. Let me have a quick look at their stats. Just going to do a quick check-in Dwarf Therapist. I won't take you with me. Where are they? Nico Live. Level 13 miner. Wait, is that 13? Yes, level 13. And Robot in Progress, level 8. Not the greatest miners in the fortress, but both at a respectable level of skill. Come on, flip the switch. I mean, I suppose I don't need to watch this. Here we go. You're going to flip the switch, right? Why else would you be here? Bang. There we go. Floodgate opens. Floodgate opens. Floodgate opens. There we go. And off they trot to do whatever it was they wanted to do in the first place. Hello.
Hello.
This is Cal, by the way. Just in case you're wondering why my daughter's voice got a little bit deeper.
It's smoking thing.
Oh. Anyway, where were we?
You ain't got the camera on, have you?
No, there's no camera. It's just a microphone. That's why I've got a little slideshow of my face, just to remind people that I am a human being. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry. I just looked over my shoulder and now I know why she was checking for a camera. Oh, I'm sorry. My brain appears to have been short-circuited. Can't think about anything now apart from rolling hills. And anyway, let me try and focus on the game. We've got this waffle grid being dug to douse the water through. That's nice, but we can't consider it finished until all the stone around it has been moved. There's a little bit of orthoclase left, which should now get moved pretty rapidly. Oh, wait a minute. Is the stockpile empty, or is it Ramo with granite? I need to check that first. Oh, actually, it's pretty full of orthoclase. Maybe... Right, first of all, we'll dump the granite that's in here, because I'm guessing we've got all the granite that's available, right? Granite, here we go. 19 pieces of granite, please dump. And then once they've been hauled out, we can change it over to orthoclase and get the yellow stuff hauled. Now Kel's in the room, I am actually starting to get a picture of how boring I am. Sitting here talking about hauling lumps of stone in a digital world, and I don't know why you put up with me.
I don't know.
Shit.
Someone's got to do it.
Well, I mean, honestly, you don't have to. I could be
love you, Ian.
abandoned in a bush,
Love
probably.
you, Ian.
I love you too.
That's enough soppiness. Skill.
All right. Stop flashing your bum. Oh. Anyway, where were we? Yes, removing granite from the stockpile. Let's get all that stuff out of there. Shouldn't take too long. We've got idlers galore. I can see it moving now. What's this lump of darker stone here? What's this? Schist. Bit of random legacy stones sitting around there. It'll get hauled eventually. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay, so let's go back down and see if they've actually come to haul the autoclaves from down below. Okay, they're here. They're here. Oh, there's actually a bit of microcline on this floor as well. Oh, I bet that's fallen from above, hasn't it? Accidentally channeled on one of the floors. Oh, I have. Here's me thinking I'd got all of it sorted. Nope, not even close to on top of it. What the fuck is this purple stuff? Oh, yeah, pitch blend. Good old uranium ore. Oh! Oh, this is the floor that we want to fill it from. So, what I'm going to do is get our miners digging the waffle pattern and putting the hole in there, because that will need a floodgate. There we go. Okay, so, first of all, we go all the way across a few times. No, wait. So, first of all, we fill it up. Then we go down to the bottom row and say, take away this row. And then this row. Here we go. Okay, no, it might have been actually quicker to do it just row by row rather than this big designation in the first place. This now feels significantly slower. God damn it. Don't play with the formula, scoundrel. Just do what works.
We've lost the other one.
Lost the other what?
Kid.
The other kid?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He's, I'm reminded him we're going into lockdown tomorrow, so he's having a little play date, or love date with his girlfriend.
Oh, right. Oh, stop calling her his girlfriend. They're 9.
Yeah, they're little boyfriend and girlfriend. It's
No,
very
they're
cute.
not. It's creepy.
It's not, it's cute.
It's creepy. If it wasn't creepy, you know, oh god, imagine what it takes to make me feel something is creepy.
You find weird things creepy.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
We told your stream people to check out that video.
What video? Oh god. I was on a video call, not a video call, so just a voice call with some guys in the TWB channel on Discord. It was Chunky Nut and it was Freeman. And they were just sitting there in silence. The conversation had just stopped. They were playing a game. I was just going through bits on Imgur, and then a picture came up of an old lady playing with a VR headset. And oh, god damn it, it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. I just started laughing. Nobody knew what was going on. It's very confusing. If you bear with me, I'll put the link in chat and you can all have a little giggle.
And then last night you kept watching it. I'm going to stop laughing.
Well, I say you make it sound like I've been ghoulishly hovering over this like some kind of bird of carrion, but
Can I cut your hair to there?
what? If you want,
There?
cut it where you want. I ain't looking at it, am I?
Yeah.
Here we go. Let me just pop this link into the Discord. Oh, sorry, I'll just put it in Twitch chat. Why not? Why not? There you go. That had me in tears of laughter. Absolutely crying I was. Won't
It
spoil it
gets
though.
funnier the more you watch it.
I'm not going to watch it though because otherwise this stream is over. So I'm just going to be sitting here going, oh. Shall I just? You know what? I'm going to stamp this. I'm going to cover this up. Let me just go over to DF Hack. Go to the GUI stamper. Cover the ground. Where's my marker? Oh, I've got to go into Dwarf Fortress. That's where it is. There's the key. We come over here. We copy this pattern. Bosh. Go down a floor. And then, what? Oh, arse candles. Wait, what? Why have you not... Oh, god damn it. Yeah? No. Apparently I'm not allowed to do this. Set brush, S, there we go. Right, click enter, go over here. Enter again. Nothing. What's going on? That didn't work at all. Right, let's get out of here. Let's try one more time. Oh, it's because I've got it set to remove designation. That's why. Let's set it to channel. Here we go. Then, if we go back to... this is going to work. This is going to work. Trust me. No possible way this could fail. Ah, shit. Why you gotta fuck me like this dwarf fortress? What are you gonna make me look like an idiot for? Okay, let's try one more time. So, cull selection. Here we go. What's going on? Can't stop laughing. I know, I told you it was funny. Be careful, you might hurt yourself. I've still got a slight ache in my face from the laughter. Well, this isn't working at all. Oh well, never mind. Turns out GUI Stamper doesn't work if you're... I don't know why it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I can't wait for the day I can play Dwarf Fortress with the mouse like RimWorld. I don't... It is... The mouse is nice, but once you get used to the keyboard, it is very quick. It's like Blender. If you use Blender for long enough, you start drifting towards the keyboard commands because they're just that much faster to go through. Right, let's get back to digging this bastard out. How many more floors have we got? 3. Okay. Actually, getting rid of this pitch blend seems like more of a manoeuvre, doesn't it? Stop you making me laugh now. I haven't even watched it. It's not the jump. It's the way she says, really? Just before. I haven't even watched it again. Oh, dear.
My head slams into the wall.
That poor woman. Dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right, anyway, where was I? Let's stop laughing at the misfortune of an old lady. She's probably got like a couple of cracked clavicles there. I don't even know what a clavicle is. It might be a musical instrument for all I know. Right, let's change the settings on this stockpile so it picks up pitch blend. How about that? That's right. Pitch blend, motherfuckers. We're playing Dwarf Fortress again. Here it comes. There we go, pitch blend. We'll keep the author plays coming. There's still probably a few nubbins of that, and the granite can keep putting hold as well.
Oh, who the fuck's this?
I don't know. Bloody doorbell. Right, okay, so the pitch blend is probably going to get collected. The author clays is probably all gathered up now, right? Yeah? Oh no, we've still got a little nodule of author clays left to be gathered. It's good. She did yeet herself. It's not even that she... oh god, I haven't even watched it. It's not even that she says, really? And then it throws herself into the wall. It's the process of thought that has to come between... Like, I would... If I can imagine... I'm scared of heights, so I can imagine putting that VR helmet on, looking down at that little plank beneath my feet and going, oh, I know it's not real, but it's scaring me. I don't think I could physically throw myself forward like that, but she genuinely thinks she's gonna fly. Oh god. Excuse me. I'm just gonna pull the obstructions out of the way of the door and close it. I think we have another child visiting. Which means Woz is going to be fucking furious when he finds out his cousin turned up. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, we're not paused, are we? Oh, thank God for that, we're not paused. Let's empty out the last few spaces here, which have been cleared up by the removal of author clays. Oh god, don't think about the old lady throwing herself into a wall. Oh no, it's got to the stage where I don't even have to see it and it makes me start laughing. I shouldn't have shared it. It's gonna ruin everyone's day. Someone's going to be in a meeting later on and then they'll just start me sitting there shaking in their chair with tears rolling down their cheeks and their colleagues will be like, I don't think this is appropriate behaviour. What's going on? Why are you doing this? What's all this? What are you laughing at? And then you'll just blurt out, an old lady slamming into a wall. And that'll be it. You'll be disemployed, I believe is the term. Disemployed? Yes, that's exactly the term. De-employed. Deployed? No, deployed is different. Deployed happens to soldiers while they're employed. Fuck you, language. How dare you? Ah, dear. Excuse me, having a little cough there. So we're waiting for the pitch blend to get hauled upstairs, and we're also waiting for... What are we waiting for? The holes to get dug, there's that. But once that's all done, we can floodgate up all the tunnels. we can fill the chamber and then begin the dousing and see if it is effective. Which I'm hoping it will be. If it isn't, then I might just immediately go down and tap into the bowels of hell and see what happens. But we'll see. You never know. It might pan out. It might work. It might be effective. Oh, God. I just took a big old gulp of water and it went over my cracked tooth. And let me tell you, that fucking hurts. Painful little twinge. That's better. Couple of gulps of the old H2O. H! Oh my God, I never say H. H! Ugh. Sorry. My inner grammar Nazi just went off. I'm still seeing a lot of this clothing knocking around in this stockpile here. Why have we got sheep's wool tunics in our stone stockpile? That's not acceptable. I want that to be shifted into the dumping pile. And again, are we currently dumping granite? Or are we currently dumping... Got nothing designated for dumping. I assume that the granite pile is the one that's active, right? Yeah. Yet still we have granite in the stockpile. Looks like we've got to get more shifted. Let's click. Press I for inventory. Go down to the granite. And then press Shift D. There we go. I don't know why I keep saying out the keys that I'm using out loud. It's not like I'm performing some kind of tutorial here. This is just me playing Dwarf Fortress. Actually, I think if Kel was still here, she'd probably confirm that I do speak like this, even when I'm not streaming. It's a condition. What it's called, I don't know, but I'm fairly sure that it's a condition. Come on, get that granite out of that stockpile. Haul that fucking granite into your stockpile. It's not going to work, is it? Singing at dwarves is about as effective as, I don't know, putting your trust in elves. Disgusting creatures. Can't believe I even said the word. Even just saying the word elves is like having my tongue stung by a billion wasps. Maybe not a billion. I feel like a billion wasps is probably going to have a hard time getting to my tongue. They're going to have to evolve some sort of queuing system in order for the bees to take their turn stinging my tongue. A simultaneous billion stings is absolutely ludicrous. They would have to be microscopic creatures for me to get a billion stings. Very well could be. I just found out I'm very likely autistic and I'm 35. Feels strange because it's like you think you have known. Well, Squigger 2, I got the diagnosis when I was 40. So, well, actually, no, it was last year, so 39, 38-ish. So, I didn't really know. I didn't find out until one of my children was diagnosed, and I was sitting there in the little diagnosis meetings going, but that's perfectly normal, right? That's what I did as a kid. That's absolutely normal. Why is that weird? And turns out that's because I am autistic. But hey, there you go. There you go. Hello, Vince9. Welcome to the stream. We got a little bit real there for a second. Apologies if that's not what you were looking for. Obviously, if you've come to a Dwarf Fortress stream, you're looking to submerge yourself in a fantasy world. What you're looking for is the sweet release of a completely fictional environment in which anything goes and nothing has any true consequence. And what I've done here is slapped a bit of IRL into your lap when you're not looking for it. And I do apologise. How bloody rude of me. What a barbarian. What a monster. What a beast. What an unconscionable animal. Let's get on with some Dwarf Fortress, shall we? You know what? You know what, Salty Sweeted? I don't want to cast any aspersions or make any accusations of anybody, but I feel like the fact that we're all here gathered around Dwarf Fortress as a means of entertainment suggests that there is going to be a slightly higher preponderance of that sort of thing in the audience. I'm not saying you have to be to like Dwarf Fortress. I'm just saying it fucking helps. You know? You see where I'm coming from here? I feel like a lot of people might be finding themselves part of a larger community than they imagine under the umbrella of Dwarf Fortress. But hey, that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, I was trying to haul uranium ore up from the depths into my stockpile, and it appears, from the purple inclusions, that we have achieved that. That's good. Which means we need to move that pitch blende out of the stockpile because, lo, 'tis ugly. But we don't want to put it in the granite stockpile. That's the problem. Is the granite still designated for dumping? No, we've got more granite in there and they still haven't shifted it all. What is the deal, dwarves? Why you no dump granite? Oh no, there's only a single piece of granite. Interesting. So the bulk of it is orthoclase. Of course, of quartz. Quartzite is also white. Difficult to distinguish from granite in Dwarf Fortress. That's cool. And then a couple of pieces of schist. That's fine. That's fine. You know what? Possibly the most time-consuming part of this fortress has been trying to sort all of the stones into individual type stockpiles. I'm going to argue with people who say that quantum stockpiling stone near the workshops is a form of cheating. I'm going to say I'm doing more work than I would otherwise if I wasn't doing this so-called, air quotes, cheating. So I feel like I'm actually playing Dwarf Fortress properly, and you, sir or madam, happen to be a fool. That's right, I said it. I struck out. Strong language there. Strong language, landing on the audience like a what's that thing you bang metal against to make it the right shape and you drop on people's heads in cartoons? You know the thing, big metal, anvil. That's the word, like an anvil. Excuse me, having a little cough there. So, what are we going to do here? What are we going to do? Do we get rid of the granite? Because I don't think we've got... That one piece of granite isn't a problem. That's going to get hauled momentarily, he says, not seeing any dwarves actually fannying around in the stockpile, even though we have 8. Let's check again. We've still got granite in there? Still got a bit of granite. It's in a job, which means, to my mind, that someone is on the case and about to haul it, but we'll see. We shall see. Oh, look. The mussel shells have started disappearing, which can only mean they're being used. And because of the amount we had, they must be being used in quite significant quantities. Have I told them to decorate shit with shells? Yes. But it's suspended. Decorate with horn, decorate with shells. Suspended. Why? Why? They don't decay, just use them up. That's what it's all about. Excuse me. I started looking into it after, it says Swigger 2, just in case people think I'm saying this. I started looking into it after several occurrences of people on the spectrum meeting me and assuming that I'm also on the spectrum. And as soon as I researched it, everything fit. Then I called my parents and it turns out they had me assessed when I was 4, but that was 30 years ago. At that point, autism wasn't considered a spectrum, so I wasn't diagnosed despite having all the other symptoms because I possessed language and cognitive abilities. That's true. It's a very changing landscape. Like a lot of people who would have been diagnosed with Asperger's, say, during the 90s and maybe early 2000s, that's no longer a defined category anymore. It's all been rolled into the autism spectrum disorder, ASD. And so, you know, a lot of things that previously wouldn't have been, like what I'm assuming you're experiencing, considered as a type of autism, have now suddenly come under that umbrella. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I must admit, I suspect there's a large incidence of it among the people I know. Exactly, yeah. So, you know, there's no way anyone could have known that there was something atypical at the time. But hey, now we're all in on the all in on the party. Whoop, whoop. Very exciting times. Anyway, enough of this talk of neurotypical and atypical nonsense. Let's have a little look at Dwarf Fortress and see what's happening. Because in my mind, while I was looking at chat there, having a little chit-chat with you guys, that bit of granite should have been hauled. And indeed, it appears that is the case. The granite has been hauled, and we will now declare the fortress loose granite free. Oops. Oh dear. Hang on. There we go. Loose granite free, and then we can, with that in mind, disable the granite dumping zone over here. So if I say A, brilliant. Then we come down to the orthoclase pile, activate that, and we're good. We're good to go. Hot to trot, I believe, is one of the ways of saying it. So now we've got this stockpile ready. We can go down to the orthoclase and say, please dump this shit. There we go. There we go, and that should take up all of the idlers rushing down to pop this orthoclase into this quantum stockpile. That's the theory, that's the hope, that is indeed the dream. Let's go and see if they've shifted all the orthoclase from downstairs yet. This room's free, that's good. This room, no, all microcline. I'm not seeing any orthoclase though. Yeah, it looks like we're orthoclase clean. It's microcline that needs moving next though, so we'll get on that forthwith. Forthwith and post-haste. Excuse me. All the laughing from that old lady has loosened stuff in my esophagus, and now I'm sitting here coughing away. Cough-sophagus. I agree. There's loads of things that I thought were perfectly normal that I was doing. Like, for example, I wear socks inside out because I can't stand the feeling of the stitching on the socks. That little bit, you know, where they sew the end of the tube up where your toes go. That little bit of stuff touching my toes drives me berserk. So I always buy socks with a smooth outside and wear them inside out, and it sorts the problem. It's not a problem at all. So yeah, but those kind of sensory things, you don't think about them that way until someone points it out, you know. So this floor needs working. This floor can be sealed now, can't it? Oh no, there's a piece of microcline that needs shifting. God damn it. God diddly am it. Excuse me. Coughing away. Oh, this floor's also had all of its stuff removed. Okay, so we've got a few floors done. Let's start shifting to the microcline collection, because orthoclase is old news. It's all about the microcline now. All about that microcline. Now, do I do it in the same stockpile as the orthoclase, or do I switch it up and start using this rhyolite stockpile? Excuse my burp. I tell you what. Let's just use this stockpile. Let's just do it. Let's stop fanning around, get in there, and get that microcline gathered up as quick as we can. What page is it on? First page? No. Actually, do I also want the granite being collected? I think we can stop the granite collection now. That's fine. That's fine. Microcline, where are you? We've got all the pitch blend, that's fine. We've got all the orthoclase. We want any adamantine pulled up, that's for sure. There's microcline. Bosh. Lovely. Just what the doctor ordered. Amazing. Diabetic socks are the best. I was unaware that footwear could affect diabetes. I mean, please enlighten me. Also, I had to train myself to wear blue jeans so that people would stop commenting about how I never wear them. I loathe the way denim feels. Interesting. Obviously, I was about to say, well, I've never experienced that, but of course, sensory issues manifest very differently from person to person, and one man's is another man's and we should always remember that. But personally, I never had a problem with denim. I've always liked the old jeans. Jeans and a t-shirt. Easy. Very easy. Don't have to think about it. Just whack it on. Done. I'm dressed. I'm a big boy now. Got all my own clothes on and everything. Amazing. Man, they shifted that orthoclase quicker than I thought they would. I mean, it's quick. And it's all going to start turning blue in a second, because as soon as they start hauling that microcline up from down below, that's going to be replacing it. I should probably get the smaller micro stones out of there. The pitch blend, the quartz, the schist. But I'm too lazy. I like the feeling of success that shifting large amounts of stone at once gives me. It's like doing a massive poo instead of a tiny little rabbit Todd. Whenever I play DWA, I enjoy exuberant amounts of dwarf pain. I mean, who wouldn't, right? Dwarves, their pain isn't so much a thing that you need to worry about, being simulated, digital and all. Then again, maybe they sit around doing their medieval technology equivalent of podcasts and saying things like, "So, do you think we live in a simulation?" Which of course is a current hot topic in the podcast world these days. And of course the answer for dwarves is sort of. Is it a simulation? I'm not sure, because technically a simulation is the process of making simulacra, which is a recreation of something, right? It's something, you're modelling something that exists. That's what a simulation is. You're trying to recreate an extant object, feeling, process, something of that nature. Whereas Dwarf Fortress seeks to create something that never was, never will be. A fantasy realm, a complete imaginary construct. So is it a simulation in that regard? Not really. And when you start thinking like that, does that mean that our universe does not necessarily have to be a simulation? It could just be a game, right? It could literally be just some sort of entertainment maths, which is what games are, right? Deep thoughts that really weren't necessary. Diabetes can cause neuropathy in the extremities, which can make them very sensitive to injury and infection. Because of the neuropathy, they may not feel normal pain signals in the extremity, so may have a cut or something they don't know about. Close brackets. So diabetic socks are made with extra cushioning and softer material and without being binding to help with diabetic foot swelling. Well, there you go. I had no idea that diabetes could well, I say be treated, not treated. The symptoms of diabetes could be ameliorated with socks. Incredible knowledge. Such an expansion of my intellectual horizons has not occurred in many months. That's not true. I'm sure I've learned something even more mind-blowing recently than that. But hey, I can't remember what it was, so it doesn't matter. I may as well have not learnt it, right? When are we starting the lava party? Well, it's going to be a little while yet. We've got to empty all those rooms out first. Although I am liking the speed at which they're bringing this microcline up. Look, there's a constant haulage going up and down those stairs, which means that it won't take long to get it out of here. In fact, we've got that one piece of orthoclase left, haven't we? Let's just get that dumped. I'm going to go into the inventory and do it that way. Hello.
Hello.
Is that BB downstairs?
It is a little bit.
Hello, BB.
Baby, Uncle Matt said hello.
Hello. There we go. Little BB down there. My son will be furious that his cousins come over when he's not here. Oh well. Never mind. If you can't remember it, did you even really learn it in the first place? That's true. It's very true. Which means I had never learnt that stuff about precipitate coming out of liquids. So the beginning of the stream is nothing but a dirty lie. A dirty, dirty lie. Horrible, eh? Anyway, let's get on to moving this pitch blend, I think, because now that last piece of orthoclase is being hauled out, I want to deal with the smaller stones, just so we can get maximum microcline absorption from these stockpiles. That's going to be good. Oh yeah, maybe I should, I don't know if I should say this out loud yet, but me and Sinister Elements have decided that we're going to, this year, attempt to put an entry into Jingle Cats for the Yogscast Jingle Jam. And so we've been coming up with ideas for stuff to do in Blender. So maybe, if anyone has any interesting ideas about that, then feel free to add them to the pot. At the moment, we're thinking on doing a version of Feliz Navidad being sung by a cat-headed man with the lyrics twisted to "the fleas that I've had," and then maybe a crash zoom into the cat's fur to some fleas, which can then sing Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad. Never heard of that song until my kids went to primary school, and suddenly every year I hear it. Amazing. BB is a lovely guest of the stream. She is, but she's actually downstairs, so she's been yelling up over distance rather than being a direct participant like old Ames did. Vince9 says, one of my more successful moments in Dwarf Fortress was a dwarf was stuck in a tree, so I had the tree cut down. The dwarf died on impact as his corpse landed on and crushed the dwarf who chopped the tree down. Perfect Dwarf Fortress. That's exactly what the game is designed to do. Crush dwarves with the people they're rescuing. That's the dream. Oh, excuse me. Got myself scratching my leg again. Terrible behaviour, should be prevented. In fact, they should cut my hands off to prevent it. That would make playing Dwarf Fortress a little bit awkward though. I feel like the stream would sound very different, and when I have the camera, look very different if I was trying to peck every command with my nose on the keyboard. And here we go, that's D, B, D. Yeah, no, I can't even focus on those keys. In fact, I pushed one with my nose. Heavens above. Come on, scoundrel. Play the game properly. Don't be a silly Billy. So what are we shifting here? We've got schist 2, quartzite 3, 4, and that's it. Schist, quartzite and pitchblende. So, with that in mind, let's turn off the autoclave stockpile, because clearly all of that's been hauled down. So, deactivate. Very good. And then we look and see what we've already got piles for. That's rhyolite. It's only got obsidian in, so maybe that's not actually been done. In fact, if I click on it enough, we can go and look at the stockpile and see what the initial intended stone was. Orthoclase. Huh. Okay. Well, I tell you what. Let's make it pitchblende. Pitchblende, motherfuckers! There we go. You didn't see the very flamboyant hand gesture I was doing as I said motherfuckers, but trust me, it was there. So, now that we've done that, let's come out of that screen, press I, activate the dumping zone. Take me to the dumping zone, or as you call it normally, the toilet. So inventory, then we can dump that pitchblende. Where is it? There it is. 7 pieces of pitchblende. Lovely. Good. Get that dumped. Once that's been dumped, we can start designating the quartzite. I'm guessing this is a quartzite stockpile here, right? Yeah, baby. We can get those last 4 lumps popped in there, and then the schist can go, and the microcline will be easily transferred after that. We can fill the whole stockpile up with it. It'll be good. I borrowed this great keyboard from my little brother. Its only downside is it's wireless. It chews batteries like nothing I've ever seen. That is the problem with my wireless mouse here. I'm enjoying having a wireless mouse, but it takes AAA batteries and therefore requires feeding frequently. I'd prefer something that had like a charging stand on a USB that you could just charge up, but what the hell? Stupid complaints. Stupid complaints. It was a Christmas gift from my mother. I should be grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. It's actually like an orthopedic mouse. It's like one of those ones that's tilted to the side, so you can only hold it in one hand, but the buttons are all sort of like side on. It's nice. It stops my wrists from feeling like they've caught fire. Salty Sweeted says, my favourite moment in Dwarf Fortress was when the Queen of the Dwarves came to stay at my fort. A weir-ass came at the same time and somehow managed to tear off both her legs without infecting her with lycanthropy. As we were making the royal chambers for our legless queen, an engraver made an image of her losing her legs to the weir-ass right next to her bed. And of course, it's the ideal place for it, right? Just to remind her that, you know, sure, you are the queen, but that doesn't make you invulnerable. Weir-asses are presumably like the donkey-horse hybrid, right? Rather than an actual buttock. A pair of buttocks, right? Wouldn't that would be weird if you could just turn into parts of an animal? You don't have to turn into like a whole crossover with the animal. You can just become like a half man, half trunk, say, in the case of a elephant hybrid. Or you could become half man, half cloaca. That would be no fun whatsoever. That would be horrible. I would rather be... I definitely want the proportion of cloaca in my body to remain below 1%, at least. And that's probably highballing it. That's probably a lot of cloaca. That's probably a cloaca the size of a basketball, you know? And you don't want that. You don't want that. Unless, of course, you're laying basketball-sized eggs, in which case you definitely do. Definitely. However, I've never laid any eggs, basketball size or otherwise. A weir donkey, but the in-game text specifically calls it a weir ass. Is an ass? I thought an ass was a hybrid, like a mule. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. Let's not maybe it. Let's not get maybe about this. I am probably wrong. Wait a minute. Why are they not hauling any of that goddamn pitchblende? Did I not activate the dump? Come on. This one here, right? Oh, it's not even got the garbage dump designation. There we go. Now the pitchblende should get shifted. And we should see a few fewer idlers knocking around in that top right corner. We don't want idlers. Well, I mean, we do want idlers. It's nice to have people on hand to do urgent tasks. But, you know, right now we've got a job that want all hands on. Now we don't want idlers. That's probably a lot of cloaca is a phrase that I was the exact perfect amount of high to hear right now. My mind is expanding. I'm sure it is. Be careful. Be careful, though. You don't want your mind to expand too much, because if it expands beyond the boundaries of your skull, they call that meningitis. And my goodness, it's a horrible thing to have. So do be aware. Do be aware. you remember that film Scanners? It was either late 70s or early 80s, where Michael Ironsides plays... Ironside. Only one side is iron. He plays a psychic guy who can read people's minds and make heads explode and shit. He drilled a hole in his head. Not the actor, not Michael Ironside. He never drilled... Oh, well, he may have drilled a hole in his head, I don't know. But I've never heard of him doing that, so I'm going to assume he hasn't. But the character drilled a hole in his forehead in order to alleviate headaches, which is apparently, under some very specific circumstances, actually a proper treatment for particular conditions. They call it trepanning. They used to do it back in the old leeches and humours days as well, but to much less success, I would imagine. Much less. Apparently there was it a pharaoh? They found an old pharaoh who'd had like a hole drilled in their skull and some kind of brain surgery done, which had clearly taken place long before their death. So they were quite advanced back in those days. Anyway, what am I talking about? I appear to have gone off on a little bit of a tangent there. Oh, you can't go wrong with a bit of David Cronenberg. Can't go wrong with a bit of David Cronenberg. Well, I mean, maybe you can. I haven't seen all of his movies. He may have directed some absolute tripe. But of the movies I have seen that feature or were directed by David Cronenberg, they've all been pretty damn interesting. Videodrome is fun. James Woods putting his melty gun hand into his chest vagina. Very interesting. We've got The Fly, where old Brundlefly sadly places the end of a shotgun against his head, urging his lover to end his tortured existence. Poor old Jeff Goldblumfly. Jeff Goldfly? Goldblumfly. No, it doesn't work. What else did old Crony do? Cronenberg was in Nightbreed. I love Nightbreed. Great movie. Some of the best practical effects of its era. What else did Cronenberg do? Rabid, yeah. What was the one where the sex worms make people get jiggy in a tower block? Come on. Don't make me Google sex worms jiggy in a tower block movie. That's not going to work. It wasn't Rabid, was it? Centipede Sex Doll says pretty sure you can. Well, to be honest, the name you have there does kind of indicate that maybe, just maybe, you've had a bit of a brush with some Cronenbergian ideas in the past. I feel like if any name in chat is going to have any weight to its statement that you can go wrong with a David Cronenberg movie, it's going to be Centipede Sex Doll, right? Yeah? Is that... I mean, maybe there wasn't that much thought put into it in the first instance, but are we talking here a sex doll for centipedes? So like basically a rubber centipede with anatomically correct sex parts? Is it cloacas? It's probably a cloaca, right? When in doubt, guess cloaca. But anyway, is it that kind of centipede sex doll, or are we talking like a sex doll for humans full of centipedes maybe? Or maybe even made of centipedes, intricately shelled and clipped together centipedes. I don't know. I was thinking of a John Carpenter movie, actually. Oh, intriguing. In the Mouth of Madness, or... I've just recently started watching interviews with John Carpenter. Man, that guy smokes a lot. I've just quit in January, and every time I see him talking, I'm like, I want a cigarette! Even though I really don't. Dude, you talk just like me. This is amazing. You have to talk your way to your point and go off on little side tangents and stuff and bring back to your point. You vocalise your entire thought stream just like I do. I know. It's satisfying, isn't it? I can't help myself, honestly. It's just a case of, the words are there. Why not let them just fall out of your mouth? I mean, obviously there needs to be a degree of restraint. Just a smidge. Just a teensy, weensy, like, veneer of restraint over the top. Otherwise you might say any old goddamn thing, and you don't want to do that. Any old goddamn thing is an unacceptable thing to say. Right, let's get rid of this pitch blend stockpile, and then where was the schist? Because I want to shift the schist first. Is it this one? It's that one. Fantastic. Well, let's go we're over the schist stockpile. We'll activate it. I've definitely deactivated the pitch blend. Yes, this is definitely a dump. Yes, excellent. Let's dump that schist. Here we go. Dump that fucking schist into my ass. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want any stones dumped into my bottom, thank you very much. That would be an appalling way to treat a streamer. No, don't do it. Not even once. Not even once. Not even ceramics. Not even human-made stones like bricks. Don't put any of it up my bum. Not at all. Thank you very much. Anyway, what the fuck am I talking about? It's meant to be ambiguous, but the main two options are a regular sex doll that's used by a centipede, intriguing, giant centipede or a small centipede, or a centipede-shaped sex doll for general use. For general use. Not just sexual use. For general use. For use also in dolls' houses. You don't just have to fuck it. You can build a whole fictional life for it in a small house. That's a possibility. What about glass balls on a string? Says Veru Mamo. Intriguing. What about glass balls on a string? I'm sorry, I got completely lost there. I'm not entirely sure what has prompted the inclusion of glass balls on a string in this stream. I mean, I've seen them. I've seen them used as floats for various forms of nautical netting, for ship-based fish harvesting. But other than that, I feel like glass balls on a string. I mean, why are you putting them on a string? Are you trying to play Marble Conkers or something? Because I don't think Marble Conkers is a good idea. I mean, there are enough health and safety issues revolving around normal, basic conkers without turning it into a game of flying shards of glass. Right? Or am I crazy? Am I crazy? Should we all be encouraging the children of 2020 to play Marble Conkers? I don't know. It seems like a bad idea in my mind. I suppose you could try ball-bearing conkers, but that, again, has its own levels of power. There's only so hard you can hit something with a conker before it smashes. If you've got a ball-bearing on a string, I mean, sure, there's going to be a lot less flying glass, but I reckon you could fucking kill someone with that, right? Professor Calculus could probably murder someone with his little dangly compass thing, right? Do you reckon that's possible? How weighty does a ball bearing need to be for you, and how long does the string have to be for you to be able to give a killing blow to an adult human? I feel like this is a kind of maths that will put me on a list. If I Google this, somebody's going to say, hold on a moment here. These appear to be the early signs of some form of killer. Whether serial or not, we must intervene and prevent him from carrying out his gruesome fantasies. Not that this is a fantasy, this is merely an academic exercise. I don't want to cave anyone's head in with a ball bearing. Sounds like entirely too much effort just to figure out how much string and ball bearing I need in the first place. And when I could just reach for a brick or something, right? Yeah, no, this is an inefficient method of murder for sure. Let me just put Simon Swerwer back on, because he seems to be appalled by the things I'm saying and has decided to withdraw his music, which, fortunately for me, is not actually something he can consciously choose to do right at this moment, because it's a playlist on a game. Oh, up your bum. I see, Veru Mamu. I have a strictly no glass up the bum policy, just in case you're wondering. No glass. Anything that can shatter with sharp edges, I would prefer to avoid having placed in my guts. You know? Like a wine bottle, for example. Don't put them on your bum. If that breaks, you're in deep trouble. Deep trouble. Centipede Sex Doll says, yeah, airtight ceramics are pretty high on the list of things that are contextually appropriate for insertions. Well, I can imagine a ceramic object designed for, shall we say, poo pipe plugging. I can imagine one that is formed with the correct glazings and contours to allow safe ingress and egress. But, when I said that, I was imagining, toilet bowls that have been smashed with a hammer or something, cracked up lumps of ceramic with exposed internals. What is happening? Why am I suddenly got a load of new people in the stream, very friendly, happy, nice people coming along, and suddenly I'm talking about smashing up toilet bowls and stuffing the broken pieces into my rectum? It seems like there's a level of self-sabotage here. It feels like I'm trying to prevent any kind of meaningful growth for my stream. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, but it's not conscious. Anyway, let's get this schist hauled. I think we've done the schist, actually, haven't we? Is there any schist left in this stockpile? No. 4 pieces of quartzite and 109 pieces of microcline, and that appears to be everything that we're looking for. So, first of all, obviously, we shift that quartzite. But we do it after, after... Press I here. No, press escape, then press I. There we go. And now we go to the schist one. That's active. That is the schist one, isn't it? deactivated pitch blend. No, we want to deactivate the schist one. There we go. That's what we do. We want to find the one that's got quartzite in, which I think is this next one. Could be allanite. No, that's definitely quartzite. So we go there, we activate that. Bingo, bango, bongo. Click on this, say, give me the inventory. Go down to the quartzite. We're nearly there, lads. We're almost at a mono-stone situation. A single type of stone in the stockpile. Incroyable, as they say in French, with a different accent and probably very different pronunciation. Considering a sling with a rock in it can break the skull, I'd imagine you don't need a lot. That's true, actually. Now that I think about it, a little rock. In fact, there is a legendary story about it, right? David and Goliath takes his little rock, little stone, pings it at the head of the giant, and then crack, dead as a doornail. Of course, there is a chance, probably quite a large chance, that that's not technically what you would describe as a factual story, an actual story. But the principle holds. It is still possible to kill with a small projectile. I mean, bullets are tiny, right? Relatively speaking. I mean, obviously, massive bullets aren't tiny compared to smaller bullets. But, you know, let's not get bogged down in relativistic thinking. What's the difference between a fantasy and a theoretical? Most people don't upend their nutsacks over equations. That's the difference. That's a very graphic, gruesome way to describe it, isn't it? Centipede sex doll, I think you might be a bad influence on me. I don't know. I mean, like, a theoretical is... A fantasy is something you know not to be real, not to be true, right? A fantasy is very definitely not a real thing. Whereas a theory describes something, or is a potential description of something that is real. Is that a good enough definition? Did I do a good one? Did I do a good defining? Plutonium Jesus says centipedes don't copulate. The male offers up his sperm in a spermatophore, which the female picks up and applies to her eggs. Wow. Wow. Boring. Centipedes. Come on. Spice it up a bit. At least put on, like, some kind of negligee or something. Put on some kind of sex outfit. Imagine a centipede ball gag. Imagine a centipede ball gag. That would be a little bit sexier, wouldn't it? Then again, it might look a little bit weird if they're offering up their spermatophores with an enormous ball in their gob. No, I think that's probably going to count against the centipede. Centipede sexuality is not something that I should try and interfere in. I should allow centipedes to be centipedes and behave as they wish in their spunky times. Anyway, depends on the species, says Centipede Sex Doll, as to whether or not it's done in place or they just leave it lying around. My goodness. My goodness, the idea. Just, you know, crikey. Just leave it lying around. You know, scrunched up tissue. Vera Mamu says, maybe lockdown's finally driven you mad, in which case, welcome friend. I don't think I needed lockdown for that. If anything, lockdown is a wonderful oasis of calm in my life. I've liked not going anywhere. It's good. It's happy times for me, although I do need to probably allow more for my family members needing some external time. We'll see how it goes. David and Goliath was probably very true, considering slingers were the premium hunter and combatant at the time. Yes, I'm not doubting that there is a story at the root of that fable that has truth to it, but I don't feel there is a specific moment. People knew you could do that. Maybe not, because it is supposed to be like a... I don't know, I'm not familiar enough with the Bible, to be honest, to make any kind of assured statements. It's not really my thing. Not really my tone, so to speak. I'm more interested in the Necronomicon and all that jazz. Yay! Can you imagine how complex Centipede Shibaru is? Shibari. Now, part of me, my initial instinct is to interpret that as a breed of dog. However, in the context, I would guess that it's that sexy Japanese rope stuff. That's my guess, because, I mean, what else in the context of centipede sexuality could lead to such complexity? Exactly. So there we go. David was famously the father of Solomon and the first king of Judea. Yeah, but we don't exactly have detailed records of his life. I mean, do we even have a fulsome record of his existence? Or is he mainly alluded to in potentially fictional tomes? I'm not sure. Although I am sort of getting an inkling to go and watch that documentary about Bible history that I started watching a little while ago. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Cthulhu blocked? No. I'll never Cthulhu block. I'm more than happy for things to go Cthulhu-y. In fact, look, if you type in, if the subs on this channel ever deem to type in !boo, it'll summon a racist ghost. Ooh, I am the ghost of H.P. Lovecraft, and I am afraid of diversity. Here he comes to spread his intriguing tales of weirdness and science fiction, and also his horrific politics.
What is this madness?
Hello, Uruz Rune. Welcome back to the stream, and thanks for joining us again. I know, it seems mad, doesn't it? But when you get to the idea that I really need to get this fortress sorted, and I really need to get this dowsing mechanism underway, it only makes sense, doesn't it? We've got to accelerate a bit. We can't sit here fannying around forever. We've got to actually get some stuff done. That's what's important. And at the moment, the important thing to get done is the hauling of all this microcline. And now that stockpile's full, I feel like it's time to actually undertake the haulage. So, if we go, which is the quartzite stockpile? That one. That's why they're dumping all their clothes into it. Let's go over there and disable that stockpile. Good. Reactivate the microcline stockpile, and now we click, and the idlers shall swarm. Inventory, 113 lumps of microcline getting shifted. Watch it go. Oh yeah. Oh, hello there. Thank you very much for the follow, Centipede Suckstole. Much appreciated. And also, Uruz Rune, thank you very much for the subscription. Jesus Christ, I didn't even notice that. I missed that one a minute ago. I thought it was just a follow. I thought, Uruz Rune must have followed ages ago. What's going on? But no, of course, you've been subscribing for 9 months apparently, which is long enough to have a baby. A wee babby. Imagine the horrific child that will be born of the unholy communion of this stream and any of its viewers. Oh my goodness, what a lumpen, unwanted child. We must take it into our arms and inculcate it into our cult to ensure that it doesn't try to kill us down the line. Wait, what? Excuse me.
One vulnerable baby.
Oh, and hello Cooler SK, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us. Actually, you've been here before. Welcome back. Welcome back. The idea that some warrior king killed a foreign warrior king in tribal times using superior technology and consequently established himself in the disputed land seems pretty reasonable. You know what? That does seem like a pretty sensible foundation for that story. It does make sense. I want to see a lava Turkish bath. Chop, chop, scoundrel. Heavens above. Well, we will get the stuff sorted. Don't worry. I should press escape, though, so dwarves can actually do the jobs I'm asking them to. We're getting closer and closer. Look, we've got the floor prepared here, a little bit more microcline to haul, and I note, excuse me, hiccups, a teensy little bit of cobaltite as well. We will need that hauled out, but for now, let's just do some channeling, right? Hello, Sam. Can you hear me, Sam? Are you there? Oh, speak to me, Sam. Sorry, that's the wrong kind of channeling. I was imitating the post-mortal Derek Akora. Poor old Derek Akora. Why is he not spirit guiding for anybody these days? Why are we not still hearing from him? Maybe he was a bullshitter. Just maybe. Just maybe. Not definitely. No, definitely not definitely. Fucking definitely. Anyway, let's keep channeling this one out. I'm going to do the... Tell you what, let's see if we can do the GUI stamper now. If I alt-tab over to DFHack, come on, scoundrel. Press up and enter. There we go. Come back over here. So I click there. Come over to here and click there. Boom. Now, it appears we can do this for some reason. Okay. So now we say escape. And then we say X. Good. And then I say like that. No, that's not going to work, is it? I can't do the GUI stamper with removal of designations. Bugger. Oh well. Does it really matter? We can do it this way. I know I've bored the audience previously with this little mesh pattern designation sequence, but you know what? It's happening so much quicker this time. I don't think we need to fret nearly as much about how tedious it is. It's not as boring as I thought. There we go, done. Lovely. Now, can I GUI stamper this one now? Let's see. If I press H, go over here, press up, GUI stamper, select the 2 corners. Yeah, that's doable. Back to Dwarf Fortress. Uh-oh. There we go. Back to Dwarf Fortress. Over here, we're going to press Enter, come down twice, left, right, sorry, a couple of times. Bang. It worked. Oh, glory day. Oh, frabjous day, as they say in old Alice in Wonderland. Okay, so that one's done, right? Yeah, that one's already done. What about this floor? This floor is not done. Bang. Next floor, the original designation. This floor, not done. Bang. Lovely. In. Good. Down the floor. You're done. You're done. You're done. You're done. Good. No more hole designations required. Note how I suddenly give up on the idea of collecting all the microcline. Because I'm lazy. I'm a lazy motherfucker. Lazy motherfucker. I wonder if Prince ever had a song called Lazy Motherfucker that he kept on ice just for lean times. Probably. Probably. Okay, so those orders are being done. We're still waiting for them to haul all the microcline up to the surface, but it's happening. It's happening. We have told them to do it. Let's just check to see if any of this is still being... Oh, all of it is still waiting to be hauled. Don't panic. Everybody calm down. It'll get moved in good time. It's not going to be a problem. I want to see... Oh, already seen that one. Based on the size descriptors, if Goliath existed, he probably suffered from gigantism or something similar. Definitely a fight in David's favour. Yeah, he's probably got serious pituitary issues. One well-placed bonk on the noggin and he'll go over like a lever with great forces involved. Anyone heard from David Icke these days? I mean, he's about. He's always doing his little thing. Such innocent times, right? Back in the day when David Icke was the spiciest conspiracy theory around, everyone was like, oh, well, conspiracy theories are fun, aren't they? Fun to read about, fun to marvel at. But it's all gone a bit bitter, isn't it? All a bit sour. All a bit sour now that people started to sort of like go, no, I believe that. I believe that entirely. And let me tell you what's more, it's the fucking Jews. I've actually had people say that. It blew my mind. I was like, what are you fucking talking about? Not verbally. I was too stunned. I was in a state of shocked, wide-eyed silence. But internally, my brain was saying things like, really? What? Let me just check my watch here. Oh no, we're definitely still past the year 2000. I could have sworn, just for a fucking moment, I was like 100 years ago. What the fuck are you talking about? The only person I've banned pulled that. You know what? I'm not surprised. People do like to try it online for some reason. But, you know, probably don't. Probably don't, right? Probably a bad idea. Probably, also, not even probably, just actually not true. You know? The idea that any group of people could organise themselves at that scale is laughable. Absolutely and in secret, fuck off. Absolutely fuck off. I wouldn't believe it for a second. I've met several Jewish people. Some of them might have been able to organise stuff. They were competent. But equally, some of them were utterly inept. And, you know, if they were involved in some kind of globe-spanning conspiracy, it would have been revealed and collapsed by now. In fact, I believe even more strongly that the depth of the incompetence in that conspiracy would render it inert and harmless anyway. If that many people did try to get together and do something, it just wouldn't work. Heavens above, where are we going? This is getting weird. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, even then, don't do it. Don't claim that any particular group of people is responsible for all the bad in the world. I mean, that's just asinine. Well, I suppose, technically, one group of people, that is, people, are responsible for all of the bad in the world. I mean, that is technically true, but the category you have to use is so broad that it includes everybody. So, you know what? It's probably best not to do that. Probably best to avoid it. How have I suddenly... I've got this kind of sensation where I've looked up from what I'm doing. I feel like I've been looking at a book or something, just walking along. I've looked up and there are signs all around me saying, warning, minefield, no trespassing. Please don't step on these explosive devices just inches beneath the surface. Not even that, sitting on the surface. I'm surrounded by them. Some of these mines appear to have dog turds laying on top of them. Terrible. Terrible. I've walked myself into a terrible situation. The set of people that are responsible for all bad in the world are responsible for all bad in the world. That's true. That is true. But then again, that's got to be a big set, right? Because that's not like the badness in the world, not exactly coordinated, is it? It's like a horrific, chaotic Yorp spawning out of Azathoth. Maybe. Oh, here's a dangerous thought. and not to be taken in the context that it should not be taken in. Maybe Lovecraft was right. Not about that. Come on. Lovecraft was terribly wrong about that. But what if he was right about the insignificance of humanity and the gods of the outer realms that care not for us? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Right, no, come on, Dwarf Fortress, save me. Save me. Drag me into less stormy waters, safer territory. Let me think and talk about things that are not nearly as dangerous as this. Because I feel like I'm holding a firecracker in my hand, and I'm looking at it, and the fuse is fizzing away, and I realise this isn't a fucking firecracker. This is an enormous stick of dynamite. This could blow my fucking arm off to the toes. Shit. Throw it! Get rid of it! Don't do it! Here we go. Right, the microcline seems to have slowed in its upward movement, so let's go and check down in the digging zone and see if there's much of it left. No, there's still shitloads of it. What is going on, dwarves? Why do you taunt me with your lack of hauling? There are 15, nay 13 idlers, and yet none of you choose to pick up the stones. What is this? Why the rebellion? Are we still under siege? Here we are. It's okay though, we still got 23 frames a second. We can allow a few rogues to wander the surface. We don't need to we don't need to bother ourselves with them. We don't need to consider what they're up to. We can just hold tight underground for a while and let things unfold. Then again, I am saying that having not checked food stocks in a while, so let's have a little peek. Okay, it looks okay. Although I now realise that looking at the number of barrels in these stockpiles isn't actually any indicator of how much food we have. I should probably take an actual stock check, shouldn't I? Okay, let's have a little look at the stock take then. If I press Z, I'll have a little look at our kitchen stocks. So, in terms of vegetables / fruits / leaves, we're not really doing that well. Bit of spinach, bit of lettuce, purple amaranth, blah blah blah. It's mostly bilberries. What about seeds? Wow, we're doing fine for seeds. If we ever want to plant some of these, we're fine. We're absolutely sorted. What about drinks? Yikes. We've got a lot of dwarven wine, a lot less dwarven ale, and a little bit less than that of finger millet beer. But other than that, it's okay. It's not like we don't have stuff that we can drink. How have we ended up with so much turnip wine? I've never grown turnips in this fortress. Probably bought them in though. Swamp whiskey? What do they even make swamp whiskey out of? If someone offered me a glass of swamp whiskey, I would politely decline. No thank you. That's fine. It's made out of mosquito blood. Isn't that mostly people blood? Oh no. Anyway, why did I talk to myself like that? Look at that, adder eggs. Holy shit, we've got a lot of eggs. Tons of eggs. It looks like the fortress is unlikely to run afoul of starvation. When we have both worm meat and yeti tripe available to the fortress. Oh my god. That's a lot of eggs. Over 1,000 turkey hen eggs. Man, imagine if the fortress's diet became nothing but eggs. They would be so egg-bound. They'd all be waddling around with like little lumps of concrete sitting in their gutty works. Oh, I have not passed solids for almost a month, sir. Please, give me that sweet, sweet laxative. Or maybe not. Maybe that's not how dwarves talk. Maybe they don't think like that. Okay, so we've got plenty of food going on here. We've got 599 bits of sheep tallow. It looks like our milk-making production line is going to end up A-okay. It's going to be fine. Let's have a look at the other stocks as well before we leave the stock screen. I hear chat. I hear the tippy-tappy of the keyboards of chat reaching a crescendo. But let me just have a little look at my stocks first, and then I'll engage with you. I will engage. We've got a lot of ammunition that we don't need. I mean, we haven't got a single crossbow. Well, we don't mean to have a single crossbow in the fortress, so I could melt all of this shit down. Although I'm guessing that's going to involve a shitload of collecting from the surface, right? Because it's all forbidden. And I've already got it as a melt order. Okay, fair enough. Let's come look down here. We've got a lot of armour here. Jeez. More than I would have expected. But not much in the way of good shit. Just a load of leather stuff? Meh. Not happy with leather armour, don't want that. Lots of armour stands, backpacks, barrels. Let's have a look at the bars. We have 3,919 non-specific bars, but look at that silver. We've almost got 1,000 silver bars. Oh my god. It's a shame it's only useful for making hammers and maces, but whatever. At least we've got plenty of hammers and maces, should we need an enormous production line to be put into place. Copper, gold, iron, all looking relatively weak in terms of quantities compared to silver, but still a lot of those. How are we doing for steel? 42 bars. And how are we doing for adamantine wafers? 37 sweet adamantine wafers. We've yet to use a single one deliberately. We may have had one picked up in a mood, but hopefully somewhere down the line we will end up with some sweet adamantine armour and arms. Not the maces though. Not the maces or the hammers, just the swords. Maybe an axe. All the cutty weapons. Alright, let's catch up with chat. Swamp whiskey, says Arizrune, made from freshly squeezed swamp. Yuck. Swamp water fermented, guesses Righteous Boner. Ratweed, says Vince9. I mean, that at least I know is a plant in Dwarf Fortress, so maybe that is what is responsible for the creation of swamp whiskey. Although Plutonium Jesus, a noted authority in this chat on Dwarf Fortress, says swamp whiskey is made from muck roots, which I am willing to take as a fact. I think Plutonium Jesus has proven their ability to bring up Dwarf Fortress facts, and I will just accept that outright. Hello, Dimorats. Welcome to the stream. Hola to you too. Not passing solids for a month. Don't worry about it, Dimorats. It's not meant to make sense. It was just a thought that happened to pass through my mind about dwarves. The farts would be worse than miasma, would they though? Would they? I believe those kind of farts classify as actual miasma. So maybe they wouldn't be worse, maybe they'd be just as bad. Possibly. Centipede Sex Doll says, eggs are good for digestion though, aren't they? Well, yeah, I mean you can digest eggs for sure. I just feel like if you eat enough boiled eggs, I find that if you eat enough eggs, it binds the darkness in your bowels together in such a way that it becomes firmer than one would perhaps like, potentially causing blockages. Maybe that's just an old wives' tale. Maybe that's just a myth. Maybe eggs do not cause constipation in vast quantities. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love eggs. I eat a lot of eggs. Scrambled, fried, boiled, however you cook eggs. I enjoy eggs. I'm just saying it's probably best not to eat more than 4, possibly 6 at a time. More than 6 eggs in a sitting, that's gonna give your guts some real uphill struggles. And nobody wants uphill guts. Everybody wants downhill guts. That's why we're designed with the shit starting at the top and coming out at the actual, literal bottom. Anyway, where am I going with this? Sounds like my intestinal disordered. Well, I mean, you know, if you eat that many eggs, that's going to be an issue. They contain literally no complex carbs. Oh, well, yeah, they're all protein, aren't they? And there we go. Urazrune says eggs are all protein and a bit of fat. Perfect food, really. I don't know. I have eaten eggs in. Let's be very clear here. Anyone who knows me and has known me for an extended period of time knows that I have, in the past and occasionally now, even though I have a family I live with, my actual family, I know, amazing, isn't it? But I have had some unusual dietary activities. I'm not what you would describe as a common or garden standard eater. There's the time I ate an entire bowl of stuffing and very nearly farted myself inside out into somebody's fridge after a party. There was the time I ate an entire jar of pickled eggs in one go and a block of cheese. And that didn't leave me feeling fantastic. Let me think, what else was there? the tin of pineapple chunks in a bowl of rice. It goes on. It goes on. I've eaten some weird shit. I'm not shy. A mood is sometimes the best time to have adamantine used. I mean, that is true. We had a fortress a couple of forts back. I don't know which Cryptbeards it was. Someone in chat may remember. But we had one where they just constantly grabbed adamantine and made artifact weapons. We had like 4 sets of artifact breastplate and 2 artifact axes. It was all made of adamantine. It was incredible. But it just... I don't know. I don't know what happened to that fortress in the end. Didn't it reach a sort of frame death and then we had to euthanize it? Very sad. Very sad. Excuse me. Burping away. Shit for brains, down through the plumbing, out next to the playground, says Ura's rune. Stuffing farts. Oh, no, don't get me wrong. When I did that fart, it was unconscionable. It was a mistake. I'd been over someone's house. The night before I'd been hungry. The only thing I'd had in the cupboards was stuffing. So I made up a bowl of stuffing and ate the whole lot. But perhaps I hadn't allowed the full absorption and expansion before I ate of the water, you see, before I ate it. And as such, it sort of sat in my guts like an inflating balloon, basically, over the course of the evening, leaving me in actual pain, actual indigestive agony. And then the next morning when I woke up, I was hunched over a table, slightly hungover and weighted down dramatically by the stuffing, in someone's kitchen on one of their bar stools. And I believe their brother came down. And no, that was it. They opened the fridge. I guffed and they slammed the fridge shut in horror. And then about an hour later, someone came down to get bread out of the fridge and it released the guff on the fridge and he nearly died. His hair went white. His eyeballs recessed back into his skull. His teeth fell out. It was literally exactly the same as when the Nazi guy drinks from the Holy Grail, or the not Holy Grail at least, at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was exactly like that, except slightly exaggerated. Just a tiny bit. I didn't have any problems the week I only ate eggs, says Centipede Sexstar. Well, maybe it comes down to the preparation methods. I don't know. But I must admit, I mean, the only reason we're discussing this is because I have quite the love of eggs. I do love an egg. I do love multiple eggs. Scrambled eggs, one of my favourites. Oh, so easy to make, so tasty to eat. Little dash of ketchup around it. Oh, on toasted bread. Delicious. Truly delicious. Maybe I should Google, is it possible to get egg bound? Is egg binding a thing? I am a master egg binder, and no demon shall poop near me. I don't know why I chose demons as a thing to be bound. I suppose that is a thing. It's a common interpretation. Right, Google. I'm going to just Google egg bound. Egg bound. What happens here? What do I discover here? Urban Dictionary. To be fecally challenged. Descriptives of an unfortunate condition of constipation wherein the normally simple task of ellipsis... what is egg-bound chicken? Surely an egg-bound chicken is a chicken who's got an egg stuck in their cloaca, right? I'm not even going to check. I'm going to guess. I'm just going to guess. Okay, so at least it's a thing for chickens. I mean, I can understand a chicken having issues passing an egg. They are fairly substantial, considering like the ovum to body weight ratio is pretty incredible. I mean, if we had the same ratio in humans, I imagine fallopian tubes would be bigger than garden hose pipe, right? Or is that how it works? Curry ketchup on eggs. Interesting. I've never really... I thought Raiders was the Ark of the Covenant. You're right. Raiders of the Lost Ark was the Ark of the Covenant. It was The Last Crusade. The Last Crusade with old Sean Connery, R.I.P. Rip in pit. Sometimes you've just got to slap the bitch. I can't help myself. It's the primary quote of his that just sort of stuck in my mind. It's how I remember him. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. Let's go back down into the mines and figure out what is going on with the microcline. Not enough. Not enough. Unequivocally, emphatically, not enough microcline movement is taking place. We also need to get this cobaltite shifted as well, don't we? Maybe I need to set up a secondary stockpile for cobaltite? Seems a bit extravagant, doesn't it? If I just add cobaltite to the materials being gathered by that stockpile, it would probably make things just as effective, right? It's not like we've got an overwhelming quantity of cobaltite to deal with. We should be able to do it relatively straightforwardly. Cobaltite, there we go. It's going to be a very blue stockpile, isn't it? Beautiful deep blue cobaltite. Beautiful light blue microcline. All the blues. Every piece of the spectrum. Dark, light, you name it. And nothing in between. Yeah, no, I was going to say, curry ketchup on eggs. I've never really dabbled with curry and eggs. I have had a couple of curries delivered from a takeaway that had egg in them, and I must admit they were pleasant surprises, but it's not one of the things that comes to my mind immediately. The combination of egg and curry. I don't know why. Maybe I should give it a dabble. Give it a little try. I don't like imagining the flavours separately in my mind. Doesn't give me an unpleasant sensation when they overlap, but purely in a hypothetical internal brain modelling manner, not as an actual tongue-based sensorium. Tongue-based sensorium? Excuse me, could I have my pretension back, please? Oh, certainly, sir. Plenty of it here. Here you go. Have a wheelbarrow full. It won't affect my actual levels. Anyway, where was I? The only reason the human pregnancy isn't longer is because the baby's head would become too big to fit through the vagina. Goodness. I mean, sometimes they do, though, right? Sometimes it do be like that, though. Sometimes. I mean, babies, relative to their body size, do have massive heads, don't they? You'd think it would make sense for babies to be born with little pea heads, but no, that's not how it works. Apparently you can't fit a human brain in a little pea-sized orb, which is a shame. It's a tragedy. Maybe you could have a lot of brain growth after birth. Maybe that would work. Not like after birth, the stuff that comes out after a baby, growing brains. That would be stupid. Why would you want to do that? It would only prolong the suffering, or in fact create suffering where indeed there was none before, because it was just a scabby lump of blood. What am I talking about? I don't know. We do appear to have gone quite dramatically off the rails here. We don't appear to be talking about Dwarf Fortress in a manner that might perhaps work with the Dwarf Fortress stream. Maybe we should turn the lasers onto the game and focus them a little more. I am noticing there's a moody dwarf sitting around. What is he? Is he actually working on something, or is he looking for items? The little shitbag. He's looking for stuff and he can't find it. Silk cloth, logs. Almost guarantee logs are the bottleneck. Everything else we should have in abundance. But logs, I'm not so sure. Let's go and look. No, it looks like we have completely depleted the log stockpile. Not ideal. What is going on here? Why are people dancing around with... What is that? Some kind of quern? No, surely not. It's got to be a book, right? Yeah, it's a mica-bound codex. It's just books look really weird in this tile pack. Okay. Where was I? Oh, I had something important that I was doing and I got distracted. Shit! There was something important going on. What was I doing? What are you doing? What earth-shattering, fundamentally different thing were you going to do in this fortress? Oh, you gather wood. That was it. We're going to try and stop that guy from going potty. Now, I could come down to one of the cavern layers and give the caverns a little bit of a visit, but that feels like it could backfire dramatically. We've had a number of forgotten beasts arrive and be ignored over the years this fortress has been working, so... Ooh, what do we do? What are we doing here? But you know what I could do? What I'm definitely going to do at the moment is flip this switch. So add, pull, now. Good. Get that flipped. Nobody in this floor. We're all good. And then if we come up a floor, I can start putting in the... No. I can only put floodgates in on the ones that have all the holes dug and all the stone hauled. Which from the look of it is just this floor. No? Well, not this floor. Oh, let's let them get it all done. Fucking hell. Too much complicated thinking going on here. Stop thinking. Just do. First of all, there's an unfulfillable designation. Let's get rid of that. And are these also unfulfillable designations, or are they just bits of mud on the wall? They're just mud on the wall. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Mud on the wall, not a problem. Mud in the lungs, big problem. What the fuck? Okay. So, it seems very static down here. Ah, it's paused, that's why. Fuck's sake. No wonder I had over 10,000 frames per second. That didn't make any sense. Now it does, though. I'm looking at the mental health numbers here, and they're looking a little bit mirrored, to be honest. We've got 4 quite happy people and 1 very happy person. No one's in a state of ecstasy at the moment, but we also have 4 slightly miffed and 1 miserable little sod. So maybe we need to do a little bit of mental health work, a little bit of outreach, a little bit of go stand over there, smash! That's probably the best way to do it, right? I think so. Hang on a minute, where's the siege gone? Ah, we're no longer under siege, but we do have a ghost knocking around, which is not ideal. That will have a very strong negative effect on the mental health of the population. So, quickly, let's go and open the gates so people can flood out and have some fun. Dwarves just want to have fun. Oh, dwarves just want to have fun. That's all they really want. There we go. Let's pull this lever. Do it now. Allow people onto the surface, which of course we must remember will induce our great vomiting. This corridor here is going to turn pretty much green, a slightly darker shade of green than the traps. Note that all of these are the shade of green that denotes they have a cage in and they're ready to go. Soon they're going to start looking like they don't have cages in, but don't worry, that's just because they're covered in vomit. Nothing to panic about. Everything's fine. Hello, 2 cats yelling. Hi there, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. As you can see, we're engaging in a little bit of Dwarf Fortress in an off-schedule kind of way. Don't normally stream Dwarf Fortress during the day, but I figured why not? Why not? I mean, mainly I was looking at my Steam library going, oh, what should I stream? And I couldn't make my mind up, so I just in the end went, fuck it, Dwarf Fortress. See? Damn it, now you've bringed the truth out of me. Is all this microcline being dumped, or is it just sitting there? We've only got 4 idlers, which seems to me to indicate that, sure, there is something going on. There's no dumping orders here, though. Here we go. Let's dump 109 microcline. And what about this 6 microcline? That's probably being hauled at the moment. We'll leave it. We'll give it a chance to get to the stockpile before we tell them to dump it. Now, this should remove all of the idlers from circulation. Are the people who are doing stuff in guild halls counted as idlers? Because maybe that's what's gone wrong. Maybe they're all going off and watching demonstrations of bullshit things that I don't need them to pay attention to. And that's what's stopping me having idlers. Excuse me. Burping away like some kind of monstrous animal. Some kind of horrible barbarian. A burp-barian, if you will. Like a horrific gastric yawp. Come on. Come on, dwarves, get moving quicker. We've got to get some more actual events taking place in the fortress. Otherwise, you're going to start hearing things like gastric yawp more often. And nobody needs an increase in gastric yawping. That's not what the world needs. What the world needs now is belch, sweet belch. Nobody ever sang that. With the obvious exception of me just then. But nobody in their right mind ever sang that, right? Nobody. Only the truly mentally insane. Actually, that's not right. You can't be anything but mentally insane, right? Can you be physically insane? Can your muscles go mad? I suppose if you're having some kind of fit and your muscles are twitching, does that count as physical insanity? I don't know. These kind of questions just never get asked. Mainly because they're a bit stupid, but oh well, never mind. Shall I harvest more cinnabar? It's not like we've got our miners doing much right now, is it? So we may as well just right-click here, go down to low priority, and say, no, don't press the Windows key, scoundrel, you fucking spanner. There we go. Let's get all this stuff designated for mining. There we go. And they'll always have something to do, even if they're not actually doing like important mining jobs. There we go. A little bit more cinnabar, a little bit of gold, potentially, whatever that was. Anything interesting to dig out down here? Nope. Nothing but bland, unending granite. Here we go. Here's a bit of diggable. Lovely diggly wiggly. You are my dwarfs and you should be digging holes. Diggy wiggy holes. Diggy wiggy holes. Do I want to do any digging on these cavern layers? Probably not. It's just going to end up with me penetrating the cavern. It's just one of those circumstances where penetration is undesirable. Dear, oh dear. Smutty, smutty language. So much double entendre. So rude. So uncouth. If only I could be more couth. It's always been one of my flaws. Just a complete lack of couth. Maybe if I could get 2 of them, I could make some couth and have a lovely dinner. Have it on a nice salad. It would be great! Oh, God. I can't believe how much pleasure I got from that pun. Maybe my children are right. Maybe my children are correct to denounce my puns. Maybe Mummy is a better pun maker after all. Maybe I'm just being an imbecile. An imbecile. Which is like a stupidity missile. Oh dear. My brain appears to be stopping working, doesn't it? Let's go look at the surface. Surely we've acquired some logs now. I mean, the surface is absolutely festooned with the things. Ever since I accidentally set auto chop to be just annihilate all the trees, they've just chopped and chopped and chopped, and now we've got this enormous stockpile we can't really do anything with. Where's the moody boy? Is he broken off from his activities? He was in a crafts dwarf workshop, right? Yeah, it looks like he's done. Good. And the microcline is moving nicely. Very good indeed. Very happy with that. Once it's all hauled out, and once all the what's the other one? Cobaltite is hauled out, then we can start filling up our little chamber. Won't that be lovely? Won't it be lovely? Won't it be wonderful? I suppose what I could do... Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. I could flip the switch on the bottom level to see if the water pressure will fill the floors up. We could do that. We don't have to fill all the floors up. Just one of them will be fine. What? Question mark? Why am I suddenly on the surface? I didn't ask for this. Question mark. Let's press A. Oh, a human caravan and a representative from Behal Mathras has arrived. Well, that can mean only one thing. Time to get our trader up in the depot. Get yo ass up in here. There we go. Trader required at depot. In you go. And hopefully everybody will start hauling all of the stuff for trade. Ideally they will anyway. Although I would kind of like them to get that microcline shifted. Who knows, my priorities are hard to figure out. Maybe I should be asking them to haul more, maybe I should be asking them to haul less. Who knows. At least we've only got 1 or 2 idlers. That's the main things. Only 33 items for trade seems like a quite small number of things. Surely we've got more, or does it not count the contents of bins there? Maybe it only counts the bin itself and then that's it. Oh my god. Okay, it's the moody boy. Sorry, for a second I thought that this guy here with the mood was our trader who'd headed up to the depot and got there early. Oh my god, he's already here. He is already there, holy shit. Normally we have to wait ages for our trader to get there, but not today. Not today. How many wagons have the humans brought? Let's have a look. We've got 1. We've got 2. Can you do a 3rd wagon? They can do a 3rd wagon. I find it odd that they've chosen not to follow my beautiful green glass road. They decided to go through the trees anyway. Very sad. Am I going to have to redesignate the route? Am I going to have to entirely pave this little depression with green glass blocks? I don't know. Wait, how many? Is that 4 wagons? Shit, I lost count. Oh well, they've got at least 4 wagons. That we can say for certainty. At least 5. Very exciting. There's going to be an enormous quantity of tat in this fortress, this deal, isn't there? It's going to be unreal. Oh my god, more! Uh-oh. Alright, this is starting to get worrying now. I feel like we're going to be mired in menus for some time to come. Uh-oh. More wagons. That's a lot of fucking wagons you got there. Why so many? Surely that's the last one. Right? Yeah, it's the last wagon. Hooray! Mind you, they may still have beasts of burden knocking around. Oh yeah, we got a ghost. We've got to deal with that ghost. Let's go down to the Crafts Dwarves workshops. Here we go. And then... oh, Liko, Ms. Boy Kim. What is this about? Don't interrupt me. Come on. Where's the A key? There it is. There we go. let's hope that old Ms. Boykin leaves us alone now. Is that enough? Am I done? Of course not. Still more to do. Yeah? Is that it? And we're done. That's enough. Okay, right, now I can click on this workshop, and now I can say, please make me some memorial slabs. We've got a ghost. A ghost. Old Saxols floating around, haunting people. Oh, hang on. Had a couple there. Interesting. Let's just do a little sweep of the list. Find the ones that don't have green in them. They either need to be entombed or memorialised, otherwise they're going to come back and haunt the fortress, and give us nothing but grief. Why can't there ever be happy ghosts? Why can't it ever be ghosts bringing happy memories? There we go. There's Law. Not the brother of Data, just in case anyone was wondering. Different Law. Oh, whoa. We didn't need this one. Cancel. There we go. You're not memorialised. This one hasn't even got a name. It's just called Stray Cat. Why are we putting down memorial slabs for stray cats? They don't come back as ghosts. Oh well. Doesn't matter. At least we're not going to get any ghosts of dwarves. If occasionally a memorial for a stray cat slips through the net, it doesn't matter. It's going to be fine. Oh, come on, Microcline. Get up here. How much left is there? Let's have a little look. Still quite a lot. At least one more stockpile, I would say. Hang on. Why are these channeling orders not getting done? Or am I just seeing... Oh, I'm just seeing them through the floor. Oh, okay. There's only one large quantity of them left. That's fine. It's not showing me the priority, though. I didn't make them priority 7, did I? Oh, fuck that. Please don't let them be priority 7. Oh, I made them with the GUI stamper, didn't I? That may have caused an issue. Maybe they are being done at priority 7. Shit. That isn't what I wanted. Not at all. Right. How's the wood stockpile doing? We've replenished it? We have. And our moody dwarf appears to be doing what they want to do, so that's good. They're not going to lose their mind and start killing. It's exactly what we don't want to happen. In fact, oh look, there's a little bit of Microcline with some vomit on there. How decorative. Right, okay, so we don't want that, we want that. There we go, and then we want to come down to the Microcline and dump what we've got that has yet to be dumped. Go. These are in jobs, they can stay. Bosh. Lovely. Did he just... Yes, he began construction on his mysterious construction. Very exciting. Very exciting indeed. Who knows what wonders of the legendary artifact realm will be brought for us to examine. Could be anything, couldn't it? Could be anything. Right. Are you guys... have you hauled all the shit into the trade depot yet? Or I'm still seeing some mechanisms being hauled up that way. And I'm guessing they're for trade. They're not being put into the traps because they've all been constructed. Come on. Get up there, dwarves. I need to make a stockpile for musical instruments. I've bought way more musical instruments than I have anywhere to put them. I mean, I suppose I could start whacking them down in the dining hall. But do we really want to be putting in mass orders in the dining hall while people are fanning around on the surface and leaving trails of vomit behind them? Is that what we want? Is that what we need? Vomit trails over the dining hall? Feels wrong. Feels wrong. Although, for some reason, the dwarves don't seem to think that these bits of clothing strewn all over the floor feels wrong. They think that feels perfectly acceptable. Oh well. Never mind. Okay, there's still a few more mechanisms heading up there. Where do we store them? It's on this floor, isn't it? Oh yeah, they're coming to this stockpile to haul it all out. It's a shame mechanisms can't go into bins. I feel like that would be a nice little way to store them, but obviously they're big old things. They require a whole boulder of stone each to make, so... Come on, nearly there. Only 3 more mechanisms left to haul. Oh no, they've bunged another one in. Okay, 4. Interesting, someone appears to be bringing another mechanism back. What's going on here? Oh, I see what's going on. The second they start hauling these non-masterwork mechanisms off to the off to the trade depot, it prompts them to make some more. So the guy builds more, they get moved over here. Then they get their trade designation, then they get hauled up to the trade depot, which causes another one to be made. Interesting. We could be stuck in an infinite loop here. Then again, it looks like there's only 2 more left in the stockpile. No, look, here comes another one. Here comes it. Yeah, he's bringing one in. God damn it. No wonder it never empties. Okay, back up to the surface. Do we do the trade? I think we should. Let's do the trade. Let's not worry too much about what's here and what's not. No. Wrong button. Shit. Okay, did I just remove the trader from the depot? What a fool. Why can't I trade? Why can't I trade? Vukar has no job? That's not true. Wait a minute. Right, let Vukar finish his stockpile storing. What's that say? Oh, Gassum Gleeful Luck. I thought it said Gassum Gleefuck. Jesus Christ. There's an unusual name. Even in the land of RNGesus, it seems a bit unusual. Right, is he in there for trading now? Did I see him walk in? I did. Good. Trading is now a reality. A possibility. Now, with that in mind, let's first dump all the shit we don't want into this trade. Because we're not really bothered about how much stuff is costing us. The real prize here is to have them haul away all the shit we don't want. Which of course is all these non-masterwork mechanisms and all the tatty old clothing that we've got. Although they don't appear to have brought much in the way of tatty old clothing, do they? It's pretty much all mechanisms and spiked balls and such. Okay, let's get all these orthoclase mechanisms in. And then once we need to add actual value over 7 grand, we'll start putting in the balls and the discs. It'll be fine. So, what are we buying?
What are you buying?
Un folastello. We're going to buy some bars, of course. We're going to buy a load of bars, all of their metal bars, because they're heavy, and removing those from their wagons will mean they can take our heavy-ass mechanisms with them. We'll also buy all their gems. Don't really need them, but fuck it. Let's empty out their stuff. Do we want blocks? No, blocks are a step too far. Although raw green glass, not so much. Also clay. We'll get as much clay as we can. We do have a clay industry. It just gets through the clay that quickly that we never really see much benefit from it. Also, we must have a ton of clay crafts knocking around. Fuck knows what they've made, but they've made a load of stuff. Do I need ropes? I don't think we need ropes or water skins or... Ah! Here we go. Musical instruments. I've never done this during the day while people are awake, so let's see what happens. So, the humans have brought with them the Athrab, the Zoka, the Omli, the Ekro, the Sil, the Kashmez, and the Gesso, and the Lugu, and the Nuptu. Nupto? Does anybody have a preference on which instruments we should look at first? I mean, this is obviously a stunning example of whatever an Athrab is, because it's worth over £1,000, right? It's an iron Athrab. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do a search just to make sure that that is the only supremely valuable Athrab we have access to. Good, it is. Let's have a little look. What does the... Oh, for fuck's sake. There we go. Let's have a little look.
This is a well-crafted iron Athrab. The drum is made from iron. The head is made from Nils monster leather. The Athrab is a mid-sized handheld percussion instrument. It consists of an hourglass metal drum with a leather head. The musician strikes the head. The instrument has a nearly 2-octave range going from a mid-high to a very high pitch. Tuning is accomplished by adjusting the tension of the head. The instrument has a strong, vibrating, rugged timbre.
Okay, so, I mean, it's a drum. The percussion instruments, the drums particularly, are very difficult to do. They're very awkward ones to come up with the sound of, but we'll give it a go. I mean, the idea of a drum with a 2-octave range sounds very odd, but I'm guessing, seeing as you can adjust the tension of the head, what we're getting here is less of a dum-dum, dum-dum, more of a boom, boom. So we're talking like a kind of a sounding drum. I don't know what the technical term for that is, but it's very much got a kind of sound to it. So, strong, vibrating, and a rugged timbre. So, I'm not going to attempt to tune. It is very difficult to do tunes when it comes to percussion instruments like this. Drums, in fact. Oh, let's hope that somebody else gets that. No? 1 second. Don't know who this is. Hello? Hello, I'm back again. Sorry about that. I just went downstairs looking for Kel, and there was nobody in. They've all gone out without me. They must have gone to pick Woz up. But that was a moment. I was walking around going, hello? Hello? Is anybody here? Turns out, no, there wasn't anyone there. Anyway, the Athrab. The Athrab. Let's have a look. So it's a strong, vibrating, rugged timbre from a mid-high to a very high pitch. I'm thinking it's got to sound like this, right? What do you reckon? Does chat reckon that was an appropriate sound? I think it was good enough. The Athrab has been successfully imitated. So let's go from the Athrab on to hang on, Shift Q. What's next? The Zoka. Now, noticing that they're mostly made of bone, interesting, probably another percussion instrument. We've got a 300 credit Sasquatch bone Zoka, which intrigues me. Is that the most expensive Zoka? What have we got here? We've got 100 and 100. 100. I think the Yeti bone, sorry, the Sasquatch bone is the most valuable one, so we'll take a look at that.
This is a well-crafted Sasquatch bone Zoka. The Zoka is a large, handheld, cylindrical bore bone wind instrument. The musician blows across a hole in the side. The musician selects the pitch by pressing keys to stop holes. The instrument has a 3-octave range, going from a very low to a middle pitch. At all pitches, the instrument has a round, vibrating timbre. Oh, it's this one again with the round sound. The round sound that we can't quite define. Never been quite sure how to make a round sound. Is it kind of like a round-mouthed ooh, 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 or is it more of a sinusoidal wave pattern? I don't know, but we'll find out eventually. It has 3 registers. The low register has a wobbling, fragile timbre.
Okay, so we need to make a sound that it sounds like someone blowing across a hole in a bone instrument. So that's our bass. Very much kind of hoo, 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 hoo kind of sound. Very good. Very easy. Very simple. But at all levels, it is round and vibrating. So vibration, done by pumping the fists up and down. Okay, we got that sound. But round as well. Again, we come up against this round sound issue. How do we make roundness with soundness? Wobbling, fragile, round and vibrating. Actually, we should probably kill Mr. Swerwer for a moment. Not literally, figuratively, I say. Just turn the music off so we can actually get the sound done properly. So here we go. Singing in the low register of the Zoka. Not low enough. Not low enough. We're going to need the assistance of a pitch shifter for this, I feel. I'll sing in my mid-tones and we will just apply a -6 octave shift of pitch. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Oh, well, it wasn't the most musically literate outburst, but it was close. It was close to what I think the actual Zoka sounds like.
The middle register begins at low pitch and has a reedy, rugged, heavy timbre.
So, it still needs to be round and vibrating, but now we also need to add reediness, ruggedness, and heaviness to it. Oh, Marchesny thinks lower on the pitch shifter. Intriguing. Centipede Sextol said earlier, high pitch and 2-octave range percussion instrument sounds like a xylophone. That's true, but it is described very effectively as an hourglass-headed drum. So, maybe a drum that somehow replicates the sound of the xylophone? You can tell I'm out of breath, can't you? Let me take a deep breath. Hold on. There we go. Good. Let's get out of the... Oh, no, hang on. There's one more. There's still the... we've still got to do the middle register. Reedy, rugged, and round, while also being vibrated. Okay, what am I going to sing? What tune should I pick? Okay, here we go. Reedy, rugged, and round, and heavy. Reedy, rugged, round, and vibrating. There's my reediness. Reediness occurs in the nose. Ruggedness, back of the throat. That's also giving us a bit of heaviness, I think. There you go, a little bit of Emmerdale Farm theme for no reason. I always reach for that for some reason. It's a powerful piece of music. Very powerful.
The high register begins at mid-low pitch and has a raspy timbre.
So raspy, round, and vibrating. Rasping. Okay, that's raspy, isn't it? Mid-low pitch. Oh God, an attempt at the Blackadder theme tune was made, but not succeeded in. Heavens above. The Zoka is a powerful instrument requiring high levels of energy to play. I don't think I'm going to be able to successfully emulate it. Certainly not with the smell of dinner so heavy in the air and the growl of hunger so loud in my tummy. What word was I looking for there? Rumbly? I was going to say rotund, but a sound can't be rotund. That's madness.
Bloody grammatical nonsense.
Anyway, let's take a look now at the omli, not to be confused with omelettes, which are made of eggs, but is an earthenware piece of instrumentation. So, we can have one made of earthenware or earthenware, one worth 300 and one worth, 330. Oh, hang on, I've got a third one here worth 410. Can we get any higher value on an omli? Not by the look of it. Nope, we don't need to look too far for our most expensive omli. There we go. It's made of earthenware, it's worth 410, and is described thusly.
This is an earthenware omli. The yoke is made from earthenware. The sound chest is made from earthenware. The strings are made from iron. The bow is made from iron. The omli is a mid-sized, handheld, metal-stringed instrument with a ceramic yoke and a ceramic body. The strings are suspended from the yoke down to the body, and the musician plays the 36 strings with a metal bow. Tuning is accomplished by pegs. Tuning is also possible using small levers. The instrument has a 4.5 octave range, going from a mid-low to an extremely high pitch. Okay. The instrument has a clear, broad, fluid timbre.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, this is kind of like a ceramic violin. It's kind of like a ceramic violin with 36 strings. So, I have to imagine myself holding it. What sound does it make? A bow drawn across strings is very much a ha noise. A ha, ha, ha. Excuse me. That kind of affair. So, it's also got small levers to tune with as well, which suggests to me violin whammy bars. It's got like a wow, 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 wow kind of a whammy bar arrangement. I mean, imagine if the chin rest on a violin was a whammy bar. That might work. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. You can't see me holding the violin up, imaginary violin up with my hands and pushing my chin down into my chest and going, wow, wow. But, you know, imagine it. Imagine it.
The instrument has a 4.5 octave range, going from a mid-low to an extremely high pitch. The instrument has a clear, broad, fluid timbre. So clear, broad, and fluid.
No, not good enough. Not good enough. That was neither clear nor broad. Possibly fluid, but I'm not entirely sure how we should be interpreting fluidity in music, right? Sounds almost like a mix of sitar and hurdy-gurdy. Oh my goodness, a sitar and hurdy-gurdy. A sitar is a guitar-like creature with a lot of strings. Instrument with a lot of strings. And the hurdy-gurdy does have that sort of turned handle, doesn't it? That constantly keeps the bow, as it were, rotating in one direction. The important thing about the bowed instrument is it has to incorporate that change of direction. You can't go forever. At some point it has to go or there's got to be that break as the bow comes back the other way. But what music... I did come across a piece of music the other day that I thought this would be excellent to do for some of the instruments in Dwarf Fortress. And can I remember it? Can I, bugger? No, I can't. Let's try... what about... no, I can't remember that one in full glory. I was about to try and launch into Claire de Lune, but I don't know it well enough. That's not good enough. It's not good enough. Clear, broad, and fluid. Not broad, not clear, not fluid. Oh my goodness. Perhaps I should steer clear of that method of adding vibrato to instruments, because shaking my head left and right like that at such a high rate could cause a concussion, and I actually do feel like my brain is spinning inside my head right now. So perhaps we shall turn away from the omli and look at the athrab? I think it's the athrab. We've done the zoka. The athrab is the next option. It's worth 130. What about over here? Got any more athrabs?
They've only brought the one.
They've only brought the one Athrab. Why? Why so few? Let's take a look.
This is a copper Athrab. The drum is made from copper. The head is made from cow leather. The Athrab is a mid-sized handheld percussion instrument. It consists of an hourglass metal drum with a leather head. The musician strikes the head. The instrument has a nearly 2-octave range, going from a mid-high to a very high pitch. Tuning is accomplished by adjusting the tension of the head. The instrument has a strong, vibrating, rugged timbre.
So it's high-pitched, yet also rugged-sounding. I don't know about you, but I feel like ruggedness comes from a deeper sound.
This sounds rugged.
This does not sound rugged. This sounds pretty unrugged, in fact. Smooth would be the word I'd use. Not that rugged necessarily determines some kind of rough surface, just an ability to navigate that rough surface. Maybe. I tried an analysis of one of the dwarven pieces of music, says Verumamo. It was weird, discordant scat jazz improvisational piece with absolutely insane time changes and counter rhythms. So it's like a djembe. Oh, okay, this is talking about the instrument, not talking about the piece of music. Okay, important distinction for me to notice. Scat jazz. See, I'm always concerned. I was wondering that a little while ago, actually, how many times did people think they were ordering like a Scatman Crothers kind of cabaret act and ended up watching somebody take a dump on a tray and sort of start smearing it on themselves? Do you reckon that ever happened? Do you ever think people made bookings based on a misunderstanding of a particular interpretation of the word scat? I mean, it's possible. It's not the wildest scenario ever. I certainly wouldn't poo-poo it if I came across it in some kind of, what's the word? Farce or other form of comedy. Maybe in real life I would raise an eyebrow thinking, you meant this to happen. You had no intention of a fast-paced jazz singer coming out this evening. You wanted us to see poo-poo. You wanted us to smell poo-poo. You, sir, are a poo-poo maker. Fun, aren't we all, though? Aren't we all? I don't think there's a lot of intersection between those entertainment types. No. Well, I mean, until we get to the one quite important facet, naming. I mean, there's nobody is going, I love all kinds of scat, from animal leavings in the woods, which allow me to track them, to pornography mainly revolving around the use of bum fudge. What a lovely thing. It's just, oh God, the images in my mind probably shouldn't be converted into words and pushed into yours, to be honest. I mean, it involves an unholy synthesis of the two forms. I mean, calling it a form, implying that, bum scat is some kind of art, is perhaps a little bit generous. Then again, almost certainly somebody will have created art. In fact, I know of art that has been made using poop. There was that guy painted using elephant poo, wasn't there? And I'm pretty sure people have made art out of their own shit. I'm pretty sure you can buy canned shit as an art statement. Kind of an anal riff on the works of Andy Warhol, maybe? Anal riff. My goodness, it's too close to rift. Don't like the sound of that. Brings up unpleasant images. Not that the stuff I've been saying doesn't. Hello. Looks like we've been on a bit of a tangent there, haven't we? Let's let's have a little look here. It's a drum, mid to very high pitch. There we go. A little bit off the cuff. Not much thought put into it, but to be honest, it's been one of the better drum impersonations I've done. I've never drummed in person, apart from that one time in a school assembly when I had to do the drumming, but hey, it wasn't like I was going to hit those high notes in Walking in the Air, was it? Anyway, we've looked at the Zocker. We haven't looked at the sill yet. Let's have a little look. Have I actually got anybody watching still, or have I driven you all away? Is it just me and Viru Mamu now, having a little sit here, enjoying the insane yawp that's coming out of this?
This is a copper sill. The bells are made from copper. The stand is made from chromite.
Sounds cool.
The sill is a huge stationary percussion instrument. It consists of 3 metal bells attached to a stone stand. The musician plucks the bells. The instrument has a 1.5 octave range going from a mid-low to a middle pitch. The instrument has a sparse, dull timbre.
Interesting. Viewer count has been growing. Oh my goodness, the world is unravelling. We're living in insane times. Oh well, never mind. If we live in insane times, we may as well nut about. Oh, that's a horrible way to put it. Oh no. Disgusting. All those mental images, I can see them going off now like ribbony fireworks. Awful. Anyway, where was I? A huge stationary percussion instrument with 3 bells. Now, of course, we've come across the sill before. We've seen this instrument, and we all know that its most intriguing feature is the fact that the bells are plucked. They don't have, whatever they're called, clackers, dongers, bong sticks, you know, the thing inside that swings backwards and forward and strikes the bell. That's not the thing. You get your finger, you curl it round the edge of the bell, no euphemisms intended here, and then you pluck it. I'm guessing it's not going to be quite such a resonant tone. Let's see what it says in the description. Sparse and dull. Okay. Dunk, dunk, dunk. There's only 3 bells. So, mid-low to middle pitch. Presumably it's a mid-low, a middle pitch, and then in the middle there's a mid-low pitch? Mid-low, middly, mid-low? Middly, mid-low? I don't know. There's a bell in the middle. Let's see what we can come with this. Dun, 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 dun. No, too much resonance there. It's sparse and dull. Ding 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 ding. No, stop it. Stop it, don't laugh at your own stuff. That's not going to work. Can't do that. That's unprofessional. Come on now, goddammit. Get yourself back in the game. How does one mimic the sound of 3 bells being plucked? I mean, the instrument itself makes very little sense. It doesn't really... Whips are very much a powerhouse of a weapon. A silver whip is an absolute monstrosity on the battlefield. You would think the sound of a silver whip, not that exciting. But when you actually see it in action, boy, those things, man, they're whipping out eyes like nobody's business. Anyway, that's enough of this donging. Enough. We're going to stop with this. We're going to ignore the sill. The sill is a magnificent instrument, but I don't think my vocal cords can actually adequately do it justice. So we're going to move on to the kashmez now. Also made of earthenware. Have we seen a kashmez yet? No? Is this the only one they've brought? It appears so. Let's go and take a look at the kashmez and what it is. This is an earthenware kashmez. The kashmez is a mid-sized, handheld, conical bore ceramic wind instrument. The musician blows across the end hole. The musician selects the pitch by pressing keys to stop holes. The instrument has a 3½ octave range, going from a low to a high pitch. It has 3 registers. The low register has a raspy, muddy timbre. So, raspy and muddy. Okay, conical bore, ceramic wind instrument. You blow across the end hole. It's another sound. It's another musical instrument. So, it goes from a low to a high pitch. That's fine. And the low register is raspy and muddy. So, raspy suggests and the muddiness, I mean, maybe if I don't open my mouth properly. It's getting too low. I can't quite cope at that depth. At mid-low pitch, the middle register begins at mid-low pitch and has an evolving, reedy, warm timbre. So we need something that evolves, yet is also reedy and warm. Blowing across a hole in a ceramic thing. A little bit higher. It's got to evolve. It's got to be reedy and warm as well. Let's try something from Lord of the Rings. How about the Shire music? How does that go again? I can't remember it. Sorry. The only thing I can remember is the Harry Potter theme. That'll have to do. Not evolving. That's reedy, but it's not warm. That's almost crypt levels of cool, and not cool in a fun, happy sunglasses way. Cool in a kind of, why can't it be warmer way? Let's try again.
high register begins at mid-high pitch and has a full, quavering, strident timbre. Kissy fingers. Quavering and strident. Put them together, why don't you? Why don't make me try and come up with a sound that both quavers and strides? Oh, God. Full, quavering and strident, but also quite high pitch. Okay. There we go. That was my best attempt. The earthenware cashmere's. It's not the most beautiful sounding instrument. We've just got to accept that. It sounds awful, but it's the best the humans in this fantasy world can do. Don't judge them. Don't be such a fucking pissant judgy judge. Come on, settle down. So, we've seen the Sil, the Kashmers, the Zoka. It seems that only the Ekro, the Lugu, the Nuptu, and the Gesso remain. What have we got here? Do we need to do all of these? What do we reckon, chat? Anyone in chat want to make an opinion heard? Should I cease and desist with the musical instruments? Should I skim over the rest of these and just get on to the action of Dwarf Fortress? Or should I carry on? Should I just be languid in my attempts to leave this weird, frequent tangent that we seem to go on? What do you reckon? Hello, Robot in Progress. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. It is an early stream. I don't know how much longer it's going to go on for. The kids and Kel are out at the moment, but I can smell dinner in the slow cooker downstairs, so I'm guessing the second they get back it's going to be set the table now, scoundrel time. Not that she calls me scoundrel. That would start to get a bit weird. I would feel a bit weird if she didn't call me that. That would be confusing. Silver whips are way less powerful than they used to be, but they do still pain stun enemies easily. I mean, they do. I mean, we what happened? Who was it who got their eyes scooped out through a visor and a helm with a silver whip? It was somebody. Somebody was going, oh, definitely. I think it was Ocelot, wasn't it? I'm going to definitely win. Put me in a fight with that goblin. And then he came out with that whip, and that was it. Game over. Game over, man. Game over. Anyway, where were we? We're looking at the Kashmers, the Sil, the Zoka, the Ekro. Have we seen the Ekro? Yes, we have seen the Ekro. Okay, let's look at the Ekro. What about the Gesso? The Gesso and the Lugu and the Nuptu. Have you seen a Gesso? Not by the look of it. Gesso is new to this session. Let's have a little look. This is a green glass Gesso. The frame is made from green glass. The body is made from green glass. The strings are made from silver. Bit disappointing. Kind of hoping they were going to be made of green glass too. The Gesso is a large, stationary, metal-stringed instrument with a glass frame and a glass body. Strings are suspended from the frame down to the body, and the musician plucks the two strings. Tuning is accomplished by pegs. The instrument has a 3.5 octave range, going from extremely low to a middle pitch. The instrument has a thin, strained, even timbre. Okay, so it's thin, strained, and even. Interesting. At least it only has one description to go through. That shouldn't be too bad. We should be able to deal with this. And I'm imagining one of those Mongolian two-stringed guitars that the throat singers use. You know the ones. That's the throat singers, not the guitars. Guitars don't make that noise. Guitars make a boing, 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 bang, 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 bang. Okay. Thin, strained, and even, but very low. Okay, here we go. I'm going to attempt a little pitch shifting. I'm going to make it a mix. It's not going to be dry. It's not going to be wet. It's going to be 50% in the middle. It's going to be a bit of my original voice and a bit of the pitch shifted voice. Just add a little bit of harmony to it. Maybe it won't work. Maybe it will sound terrible, but what the hell? We've got to try, right? We've got to give it a go. If we don't try, then who the hell will? Nobody else. I don't see anybody else out here on Twitch making stupid noises based on the descriptions of instruments from an RNG-based game about dwarves. Do you? Anyone else see any of that happening around here? Because I feel like I'm the only one taking up the slack right now. So come on. Encourage other Fortress streamers. Encourage other streamers to do this in general. Just encourage streamers who aren't playing Dwarf Fortress to sort of honk and bark into the microphone at like regular intervals. Just to, damage any appearance they might have of being a sane human being. It's fun. Anyway, let's get on with this. It's a thin, strained, and even sound. And it's basically a two-stringed glass harp. Well, actually, a glass harp is a thing, isn't it? Okay. I only do silly analysis of the compositions. Well, maybe we'll combine our powers sometime.
I'll make silly honks and parps, and you can give it a little bit of serious musical analysis. Maybe even write some notes down. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, there we go. Do it. I mean, people have been saying to do a whole YouTube video of just the classic instruments. In fact, Tidy did do a YouTube video of me doing musical sounds, but it was more of a sort of a composed piece. Like, he took me as samples and put it together. Very good. That was from a fortress where we had the beautiful serendipity of a musical instrument called a cock and a musical instrument called a suku, which allowed us to have the cock suku band. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. Nothing has been seen like that since the days of hair metal. Anyway, where are we? We need to make this guitar sing. There's only one 2-stringed guitar song that one can really play, so I'm just going to launch into it. Here we go. Thin, strained, and even. Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. Oh, well, hopefully that was different enough from the originals to avoid any lawyers descending on us with a little bit of a copyright strike, because who knows? You do not want to be taken to court by the dueling banjos kid. I mean, how old would he be by now, man? He'd be pretty old, wouldn't he? Be pretty old. He's going to be at least in his 60s. Has anyone ever seen Where Are They Now for Dueling Banjos Kid? Does anyone know what he's up to? Presumably he's still playing the banjo, right? I mean, he seems so good at it, it wouldn't make sense for him to give it up. Then again, maybe I don't understand the pain of genius. Maybe he was just too good at playing banjo, and for some reason he was left unattended and just allowed to play banjo as wildly and as furiously as he could, causing his fingers to combust and his arms to burn down to little shoulder-based stubs. What? Shut up. Stop talking like this, you idiots. Anyway, let's carry on. What are we looking at now? We've looked at the Gesu, we've looked at the Zoka, we've looked at the Ekro. I think that only leaves the Lugu and the Nupto, so we'll have a little look at our Lugu. What does a Lugu look like?
This is a cassiterite Lugu. The drum is made from cassiterite. The head is made from opossum leather. The hammers are made from pecan wood. The Lugu is a mid-sized handheld percussion instrument. It consists of an hourglass stone drum with a leather head. The musician strikes the head with wooden hammers. Not a wooden hammers. That wouldn't make sense. The instrument has a 1.5 octave range, going from a mid-high to a very high pitch. Tuning is accomplished by adjusting the tension of the excuse me.
Hiccups. Very intrusive.
Adjusting the tension of the head. The instrument has a strong, bright, focused, vibrating timbre.
So it's kind of like a bang, bang. That's the sound I'm hearing. Strong and bright. Maybe a little even bang, bang. Yeah, mid-high to very high pitch. There we go. That's the sound of the Lugu. I'm surprised it came so easily to me. Normally there is at least a moment's struggle. And finally, eventually, at last, the Nupto, the final musical instrument of this trade deal to be mimicked. How has this become a thing? How have we ended up here, where such a large proportion of my life revolves around repeatedly making the sounds of the same musical instruments brought to me by fictional digital traders? What is happening in the world? Come on, everybody calm down and just get on with it.
This is a well-crafted stoneware Nupto. The frame is made from stoneware. The body is made from bronze. The strings are made from forgotten beast silk. The Nupto is a tiny, hand-held, silk-stringed instrument with a ceramic frame and a metal body. The strings are suspended from the frame down to the body, and the musician plucks the 6 strings. Tuning is accomplished by pegs. Tuning is also possible using small levers. The instrument has a 4-octave range, going from a middle to an extremely high pitch. At all pitches, the instrument has a thin, choppy, focused timbre. Okay, so first impressions. Of course, we've seen this instrument before, so it's not really a first impression. It's a recall of first impressions that we had many episodes ago. But this, of course, is our friendly hand guitar. It's a little hand guitar. It sits inside your palm.
right? Tiny, handheld, silk-stringed instrument, ceramic frame, metal body. Just sits in the palm of your hand. And then you pluck the strings with your other hand. Imagine you've got a little puppy or a kitten in the palm of your hand with its belly up, and you're tickling its tum-tum, tickly. That's how you play the nupto. It's a hand guitar. I mean, obviously, it's thinner than a little kitten or a puppy. They're kind of rounded, sausage-like in their shape. When you ignore the legs and arms, they're all legs. When you ignore the legs, but of course the nupto is a flat thing. It's flatter, ceramic, stoneware. It's great. Anyway, it's going from extremely high pitch from middle to extremely high pitch, and a thin, choppy, focused timbre at all pitches. Here we go. It has 2 registers. The low register has a vibrating, harsh, nasal timbre. So we need a plucked guitar sound. So thin, choppy, focused, harsh and nasal. Harsh and nasal, not too difficult. Like we've got this. Here's how's this for a harsh nasal sound? That's quite harsh and nasal, isn't it? It's unpleasant to listen to, that's for certain. Let's see if we add some thin, choppy focusedness to it. Okay, so how is choppy? Choppy, I would imagine, is kind of like a like a staccato start-stop sound. So there's your choppy sound. Doesn't sound much like a plucked string, though, does it? Can we thin it out a bit? Again, we're straying very far from the format of a stringed instrument. Can we focus it somehow? We've done the thin, we've done the choppy, we've done the nasal and harsh. We've not really done the vibrating. Okay, this is starting to sound like the cackling of some kind of bargain basement crypt keeper. This isn't an instrument at all. I've gone into a weird, strange animal noise. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it, though. Nonetheless, we'll give it a go. We will attempt the Harry Potter theme using a vibrating, harsh, nasal timbre that is both thin and choppy while being focused at the same time. I can't lie. I mean, I can lie, but in this circumstance I've chosen not to. I don't like it. I don't like the sound I'm making. I don't like the way I'm interpreting this instrument. I feel like it's a weak end. It's a soft, floppy ending for what has been a pretty tumescent trade. So maybe I need to try again on the higher register. The high register begins at high pitch and has a delicate, vibrating, piercing timbre. So it's got to be choppy and focused while still remaining thin, but we have to add layers of vibration, piercing, delicacy. So we lose the harsh nasalness. No more ha! And now we're looking at delicate vibration. Much more guitar-y. Much more guitar-y. Not really very piercing, though, is it? Sorry, I just banged the thing there. Delicate, vibrating, and piercing. Bang, 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 bang. Okay, green sleeves. Okay, it's a bit derivative. It's not the best piece of music that I could have used, but fuck it, we're there. We've made it through all of the musical instruments, and now we're on the other side and free. Asthmatic dolphin. That's what an asthmatic dolphin sounds like. Excuse me, I'll try and pronounce those words. That's what an asthmatic dolphin sounds like. Actually, surely an asthmatic dolphin sounds more like with all the bubbles coming out, right? Because normally they make their sounds without releasing air, I'm guessing, considering they make them underwater with their sealed blowhole. So presumably when they cough, it's kind of like a of bubbles underwater, right? Or is that not how it works? Do they hold it in? I've never been a holder in of coughs or sneezes. I've always preferred to catch them with some sort of hanky or tissue. But people I know do hold them in, and I feel like they're doing themselves a mischief, causing damage to their own bodies. Oh well, never mind. Don't listen to me for medical advice. That's an important piece of advice that you should listen to. Is that technically medical advice, though? Therefore, causing a sort of causality loop of negating logic. Fuck, what have I done? Let's press play. Let's get a little bit more swirler involved, because this is actual music. Real, genuine music created by what I believe are called musicians. Amazing stuff. Anyway, let's go down here past the hammers and the axes. I say hammers and axes, they're actually toys. Do I want a bush tit? No. Do I want a grizzly bear? Yes. Do I want a drake? No. Do I want a rooster? No. No spunky birds for me. Purely ovulating cluckers? Is that the word I really want to use? Do I really want to describe chickens as ovulating cluckers? I suppose so, I've done it now. I can't really wind it back, can I? Oh well, never mind. Cavy boars? Definitely not. Bush tits? No. Donkeys? Bush tits, the way people used to get pornography in the old days. They'd find it underneath bushes all crumpled up. Donkey? No, I don't need a donkey. I don't need a one-humped camel. I need no camels, whether they have 1 to an infinite number of humps. Actually, if someone brought me an infinitely humped camel, I might consider buying it just for the novelty. Do I want a raven? No. Do I want a peach-faced lovebird? No. Do I want a sow? No. Do I want any of these? Probably not. I'll buy the black bear. Nice to have. A female kestrel can definitely lay eggs, so we'll buy that. And a cardinal. Lovely. Do love them egg-laying birdos. Actually, that's technically a definition of a bird, isn't it? Well, I suppose the female birds, not the male ones. Now the kestrel. Interesting fact, kestrel in the UK is an incredibly potent lager. Just in case anyone didn't know that. Proper, like, indigent fuel. A homeless blanket, as they call it. Oh, that's sad. I've just made myself sad now. Nanny goat, blue peahen? No. Llamas, dogs? Not very interesting. Walnut barrels? No. An adder venom barrel? Nah. We're taking all of our stuff that we're extracting from adders from the other end. We're having eggs. No one wants a cup of adder venom. Boo. Boring. Bumblebee venom, on the other hand. How delicately must that be harvested? A whole barrel of bumblebee venom. Yes, please. Now there is what you will call a flex. Yeah, baby, check out my barrel of bumblebee venom. I paid children to milk them. Not milk. I suppose you don't milk bees, do you? You venom them? Is that what you'd call it? Venoming? Devenoming? Venom extraction? Why is milking called milking? That would mean, like, sneezing would be called snotting. You know what I mean? You see how that logic follows on? Doesn't make a lot of sense. Then again, we are talking about English, not the most sense-making language in the world. It does allow for quite a lot of leeway in terms of actually being understandable or sensible. God. One-hump camel milk, very exciting. Llama milk. Milk, not our issue. We've got plenty of access to milk. It's the fact that our milk isn't being turned into cheese quick enough that's more of a problem. Maybe I need to get some of my lads down in the cheese-making mines. Off to the cheese mines with you, sir. Bronze longsword, silver whip, two-handed sword, copper pick. What's that in chat? Sell it to rich ladies to get rid of winkles. That's a real thing, by the way. I'm not entirely sure what you're asking me to sell. Bumblebee venom? Bumblebee venom? Question mark? I can imagine it being used. Imagine that, rather than using Botox, there's a guy who's got like a big old box full of wasps, and he has to pull them out one by one and bam, stick them in your eyelids to make you less wrinkly. I don't think I'd pay that price. And we haven't even discussed an actual price for this service. I just think the actual service itself incurs too much of a cost to be worth it. Then again, I am not afraid of being wrinkly. I think men probably take the idea of becoming wrinkly in old age a lot better than women in general, because part of their body remains almost infinitely wrinkly from birth. Sure, the scrotum of a newborn is a smoother entity than the dangling sack of an old man, but we are all always aware of the existence of wrinkles on our body. And you know what? Wrinkles allow stretching. I don't think enough old people really revel in the stretchiness of their skin enough. They should be attempting to stretch themselves out into large, thin sheets of person. Excuse me. Sorry, did I go off? Oh, I'm sorry, I just woken up again and it looks like I'm in the middle of a stream. Let's carry on, shall we? Let's ignore that thing I just said, which is patently absurd, and get on with this trade, because it's taking too long. It's taking far too long. I'm not interested in all these picks and morning stars and battle axes. I've pretty much looked at everything I'm interested in. I mean, maybe we'll have a glance at some books, take a little peek, because these are humans after all. They actually have a literate society, unlike the elves, who are sub-literate little bastards. Ugh. Elves, disgusting. Down past the shields, the hoods, the caps, the gloves, the mittens, the gauntlets. Oh, it's actually not that exciting a trade, is it? Once you get past the instruments, it all becomes very bland, very tedious, very boring. Bags, ropes, bits and bobs here and there, nothing too exciting. We haven't even spent $7,000 yet. They're still in profit from our initial dump of mechanisms and tatty old clothes. Sandbags, don't need any of that. We can get hold of sands. Sands? Sand. Starting to get into the seeds. Where's the food? Give me just plain straight up food and I'll buy that. Quinoa flour? Yeah, sure. Let's buy some quinoa flour. Artichoke seeds? Not so keen on those. We don't really need artichoke seeds. Even though artichokes are grown in sandy soil, and we do have sandy soil available in this fortress, although I'm not sure the granularity of Dwarf Fortress's agricultural system quite goes that deep. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't think we need to worry about it too much, though. It'll be fine. Why are we whispering? What's going on? Shh. Oat flour bag. Besmar's wolf leather. Nah. White sand. Barley flour. This sounds like food. Oh no, it's doing sand. Don't mix up food and sand. Very bad mix up, that one. Fuck your teeth up. Ginkgo wood. Yeti leather bags. Foxtail millet flour. Come on. Find me some actual food. You know what? Let's just buy all their cloth and leather as well. Why not? Why not buy all the cloth and leather? Now I know what I could do is just search for the word bin and do all this in one easy swoop, but we're not about easy swoops here. If you've been here since the beginning of the stream, you've seen me do things in an unnecessarily roundabout way. A loon bone. Oh my goodness. If only I didn't know the loon was a kind of bird, then I would assume it was the bone of a lunatic, which makes it much more exciting. Almost like the, what's his name? Burned up guy. Kills children, but probably also fucks them. Claude Glove. Freddy Krueger, just like Freddy Krueger. He was the son of 1,000 lunatics. What? Amber figurine of a coelacanth. Borax figurine of a yak. We don't need figurines. We don't need bolts. We don't need crowns made out of giant white stalk bone. Got some cut stones, large ones, very boring, don't want any of those. Iron anvils, yes, we will buy these. These are eminently meltable, and we can retrieve the iron from those very easily. And now, past the water buffalo meat and wolf meat, there's also skunk meat in there, elk meat, dog sweetbreads, prepared giant bush tit lungs. I mean, they're going to have to be pretty good. Big. Anything described as tits. A bush tit, blue tit, coal tits, whatever. If you said, I've got a lovely plate of tit lungs for you here, I'd be like, man, they're going to be a bit small, aren't they? How many fucking... I mean, you only get 2 per tit, right? Surely there's a more efficient way to get lung meat, right? Tits don't seem the way to do it. Then again, maybe they're just so delicious that it's worth the extra effort. Maybe tit lungs are just fantastically tasty. There's a whole page of stuff here. Look, we've gone past raspberries, artichoke hearts, lettuce leaves. Oh, hello. I'm into the threads. Hemp threads, llama wool yarn. I don't need to buy any of this shit, but I'm buying it. Just because I can't be asked to take my finger off the shift key. We don't need chain leggings, though. Let's keep going down. Come on. Splints. Cheeses. I think we can afford to buy some cheese. Before, we had a surplus, but that seems to have all gone. I think, from the amount of cheese we were making and storing in the fortress, our dwarves have developed quite a fromage-based palate. They love a good cheese. They're very cheesy dwarves. But obviously, for some reason, the throughput on our production lines doesn't seem strong enough. Maybe we need to get more sheep in. Maybe I need to change my culling orders so we're not killing as many milk-bearing animals so quickly. Or not, maybe not. Maybe we just need to breed special sheep with giga udders. That might work. But ultra udders sounds better. Gigatits, ultra udders, and One more scale-based superlative for boobies. Come on, scoundrel, you can do it. You can reach into your little word box and come out with... Titanic tits? No, very weak, very poor. Punish yourself for that one later on, scoundrel. Yes, sir. Okay, enough talking to myself. Let's have a look at a commentary on Page Cyclone. What is this? It's an interesting book. Let's have a little look. This is a Nils Monster parchment scroll. The rollers are made from native aluminium. Written on the item is a guide entitled Commentary on Page Cyclone, authored by Onal Threecloistered. It concerns the Tower Page Cyclone. The writing rapidly shifts between topics, and it breaks sharply between topics with regularity. Overall, the prose is splendid! Sugoi desu na! Excellent. Let's buy it. Put it in the library. Why not? For the Love of the Village? Meh. I'm not so interested in that one. The name isn't pulling me in. It's not making me excited. Similarly, at one with the dwarf, not really making me want to find out what's inside. We put it in the library, perhaps foolishly, but whatever. Mega Mammaries, Massive Mammaries, they're true, both good options. Let's think. We've got Gigatits, Ultra Udders. I don't like the alliteration doesn't work there. Udders is a difficult one to put a word next to. Ultra, sure. Ultra Udders, alliteration, but it just doesn't work. I think the words, you want a d, the double D sound to flow into the udders. Something like Yatta Udders? No, it doesn't work. It's not good. Humongous Hooters. Interesting. We're all getting too hung up on the alliteration here. Gigatits works because it's got the it. Gigatits. That's how it flows into each other. But, I don't know, the alliteration isn't working. It's not working for me. We'll have to come up with a different what's the word? Rubric? No. A different heuristic for pushing tits and scale words together. This is getting out of hand. Stop it. The possibilities of the village? Sure. Start your day with the dwarf? Okay. Is that about arranging one-night stands with dwarves? Or is it about eating dwarves for breakfast? We won't find out. A course on Boar Valley? A microcline bound codex. So we've got a lot of codices here and not much clue as to what's in them. Let's take a peek. Let's find out. This is a microcline bound codex. This object is adorned with hanging rings of pig bone. The written portion consists of a 72-page guide entitled The Mystery of Drive Folds, authored by Toulon Spearruler. It concerns the fort drive folds. The writing has some particularly crisp changes in topic, and it is reasonably serious. Overall, the prose is passable. Okay, well, I mean, I'm not that excited by the book. It's not making me want to delve deeper into the codices they brought. We're going to buy them all. We're going to buy all their parchment sheets as well, just for the fun of it. And then I am going to have a quick look at one more codex. What are we looking at? Microcline, diorite, selenite, calcite, malachite, chromite, native gold, bituminous coal, and microcline/siltstone. I'm going to go with the native gold bound codex. It's not worth as much as the bituminous coal bound codex, which is interesting. How have they made a bituminous coal codex worth more than a gold bound one? Bearing in mind the gold one is also 19 weight units, while the bituminous coal one is only 1. Oh, hang on, gold is very dense, isn't it? That would make sense. I thought there were just more pages in the other, but no. We're going to look at both, because I now can't decide. We're going to look at the gold one first. Always believe in your soul. You're indestructible. This is a native gold-bound codex. The written portion consists of a 33-page play entitled It Must Have Been Mansion, authored by Dastot Paperchanced. The work has no particular subject. The writing artfully indulges the author's fancies. Overall, the prose is splendid. Okay, it must have been Mansion. It must have been. And what about the bituminous coal one? Is this a more hefty tome? A more erudite scriven? Scribe? Written thing? Whatever. This is a well-crafted bituminous coal-bound codex. It is encircled with bands of rose gold. This object menaces with spikes of precious fire opal. The written portion consists of a one-page guide entitled Discovering Gem Riddle. It concerns the fortress Gem Riddle. The writing artfully indulges the author's fancies, and it shows a hint of tenderness. Overall, the prose is passable. Okay, I'm not that excited by that book either, but hey, We've done looking at what we're trading now. We currently are purchasing 22 grand's worth or thereabouts of materials, so we are going to need to provide some stuff to offset that cost. We'll start by dumping all of my balls on the table. There we go. Enjoy my spiked copper. And immediately that takes the traders into 2 grand's profit. Now they're not going to accept that. They're going to want more. So other than my balls, we are going to... Oh, I haven't put all my balls on the table. Wait a minute. More balls, more balls. Put the balls on the table. There we go. Let's get rid of all the balls. We don't need those. Another ball. There's a ball. More balls. Ball, 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 ball. Cancel, cancel. Don't do that. There we go. Ball, ball, ball. How many more balls? Ball, ball, ball. Ball. There we go. They're now making 19 grand profit. I don't think they can complain here. Let's set this trade off. Renal seems ecstatic with the trading. Also seems to be named after the system governed by the liver. Or is it the kidneys? I forget. I mix them up all the time. That's why I've got a liver full of piss. So, now we've done the trading. Amazing. Let's remove the need for the trader from the depot, allow him to get back to his day-to-day duties, his quotidian tasks. And there we go. So what were we doing before those traders turned up and absorbed like a fucking hour of my time with honking and barking into the microphone? We were doing something. I had to leave for a while to have a chat with my son's teacher about school. I could not risk the triangle of trouble coming up when she added me to the Zoom call. It would have been awkward. Oh, that would have been brilliant though, wouldn't it? Awkward, but funny. Hilarious. Imagine that. The crossed wires. She accidentally gets me going, ha, 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 boing, into the microphone. And then she's like, excuse me, Mr. Oafsalot, I don't think you're taking your son's education seriously enough. I feel like you could be applying a little bit more sense to your actions, rather than listening to this buffoon honking into a microphone like an overexcited goose. Kidneys. It is the kidneys. Okay, now I can get all that horrible piss out of my liver. Fantastic. Fantastic. He's got a pissy liver. Anyway, where were we? We were trying to move stones, if I remember rightly, focusing primarily on microcline. Bumble Libashishtibar, the bookbinder, has created Stelidgatin, a microcline puzzle box. She claims it as a family heirloom. Oh, they've made the lament configuration. Finally, we're going to get ourselves some lovely, lovely Cenobites. Oh, Pinhead, where are you? By the way, it stands for Washed Panthers, a microcline puzzle box. Let's have a little look. Before they come to tear our soul apart. It's worth 69 grand, which is a very sexy value. Ooh, very exciting.
This is a microcline puzzle box. All crafts dwarfship is of the highest quality. It is decorated with sheep leather and encircled with bands of cave spider silk, apricot wood, radiant cut green glass gems, and oval cut black zircons. This object menaces with spikes of microcline, silver, and black zircon. On the item is an image of Dishmab Overstaves, the dwarf, in microcline.
Intriguing. So it's covered in spikes. It's got bands all over it. It's a very highly decorated item, but I feel the description is a little bit bland. Maybe Dishmab Overstaves is the pinhead of this world. Maybe he has lots of dwarven nails banged into his face. Fuck knows. Maybe he's the guy with a camera in his eyeball. Maybe he's the guy with tons of CDs rammed into his skull. I don't know. But let's just assume that Dishmab Overstaves is a Cenobite. This is a lament configuration puzzle box, and we're about to be witness to some Clive Barker levels of fucked up sexiness. Exciting, isn't it? Oh, very exciting. Anybody who's read a Clive Barker story knows what I'm talking about with the fucked up sexiness, right? You're aware. You've got a yardstick by which to judge this. Of course, it wouldn't be a yardstick in the case of Clive Barker's work. More likely to be a yard penis or tongue. Do you remember that bit where he sits on the throne made of tongues and they lick his bum? What was that all about, right? That was a bit weird, wasn't it? Very strange. Powerful writing, but very strange nonetheless. Not as strange as that bit in It where all the kids start having sex. That's even stranger. I mean, that is basically like the pages begin to weep cocaine from the 80s and it crystallises in front of you. That's what's happening there. Anyway, enough of this little digression. Let's go and look down at the mines, see what's going on down here. Have they got all that microcline up? I mean, probably not. In fact, definitely not, because we can see they haven't. The problem there is I've been sitting in that trade depot doing all the trading, thinking, oh yeah, this is going to give plenty of time for them to get on with their chores in the fortress, when in fact what it's done is paused the fortress and prevented them from doing anything. What a fool. Imagica was great. What was he did a kid's book, didn't he? He did a kid's book, which I read when I was too old. No, not too old. I wasn't a kid anymore. I was curious to see what would appear in a Clive Barker children's book. And I remember it being quite... was that Imagica? That's not the one with... Definitely isn't... I must stress the fact that Clive Barker's children's book was not the book in which the guy sat in the throne of tongues and got his bum licked. That is definitely not the same book. They're different ends of the Barker spectrum. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Rawhead Rex. Now there's an interesting film/story. It's basically about a giant haunted penis. Fascinating movie. I'm not entirely sure I want to delve too deep into the subtext, but the surtext is good enough for me, frankly. Should we pull the switch on this lower floor down here? If I go down to where the water is, if I pull the lever that opens up this floodgate here, we could well end up in a situation where the whole thing fills up from the bottom, which might be better than having the whole flood in from the top, right? Doesn't matter. Let's not get too deep into these theories, scoundrel. This floor still needs all its microcline and cobaltite removed before we can do anything with it. So let's not get flooding things before they're devoid of stone. No, Imagica is super fucking weird. I mean, it's a Clive Barker book. It's not going to be not weird, is it? Yeah, something to do with weaving, some kind of weaver thing, Weaver World. Was that not his kid's book? It's got something to do with weaving things from thread. I'm going to have to Google it. We've managed to make it 3.5 hours into the stream before I had to Google anything. Oh wait, no, I did Google something earlier, didn't I? I just don't know what it is. Clive Barker Kids Book. There we go. What does Google come back with when I ask that? Well, it's not even a question, it's just a statement. The Thief of Always. That was the name of it. Although it looks like he may also have books called Aberrat, Everville and Days of Magic, Knights of War, which apparently appear when you type in books/Clive Barker/child. But I'm guessing they're probably not kids' books, right? This is not showing me a list of children's books by Clive Barker. No, because it includes the Damnation game, Absolute Midnight. Yeah, okay. Okay, he's written loads of books since I last delved into his oeuvre. Amazing. I bet it's the same with Neil Stephenson as well. I bet he's written like 4 or 5 books since I last read one. Good stuff. The Thief of Always. At least I now know the name of Clive Barker's kids' book. And we've killed a few moments while we wait for the dwarves to finish all these fucking jobs that they're not doing. Come on, dwarves. Come on, dwarves. That is, of course, an exhortation for the dwarves to pull up their socks and get moving, rather than asking you people to find short people and dump your love muck on them, which is, of course, probably going to be a crime. If you don't get consent beforehand, it certainly is. Some of you may well be married to or in loving relationships with dwarves, in which case, you figure it out for yourselves. You work out what you want to do. If you don't want to be flinging the love muck around, that's fine. If you do, that's also fine. I'm not making any arguments here. I'm not going to tell you what you can and cannot do. How is the hole to bring water to the lava going? Well, Marchesny, it's taking a slow eon, basically. If we come down here, just because there are some new viewers in chat, maybe, I don't know, we could have scared them all off by now, but there were some new viewers in chat. Let's have a little look at the arrangement as it stands. So, we of course have discovered candy. A very blunt euphemism for adamantine, a glorious material that can be used to craft the finest in arms, armour, and basically anything you make out of it. Apart from hammers, they're not great. And maces, they're also not good. In fact, whips aren't particularly good. It's great for bladed weapons and armour. Let's put it that way. Okay, so we've got the adamantine. Of course, it's surrounded by this deep, deep well of magma. In fact, we could call it a magma sea, because that's what it is. And of course, as we all know, if you apply water to magma, you turn it into obsidian. Basic Minecraft. Basic Minecraft. So what I've been doing is digging tunnels to bring water from the cavern layers down to douse the ground and turn the magma into obsidian so we can dig the adamantine out. As you can see, this initial gate flooded this area and turned it to obsidian, and I got to channel it out, very good, but it loses ability exactly at the edge of this line of obsidian here. And these floodgates here don't have enough oomph to actually turn stuff into obsidian. So, rather than bringing the water in from the side, we decided to go up and create a system above. These levers are connected to retractable drawbridges at the bottom of this pool of water, and they will open a 3-wide or a 2-wide strip of floor in order to dump water from above on the magma. We did this with a single Z level of water, and it turned out to be entirely inadequate. So I have now done 8 Z levels, 9 if you include this one that I never bothered to dig out because it's full of damp stone notifications, but 8 of these with a waffle-based drain pattern dug on the floor, which they don't appear to be digging because, yeah, why would they do what I want them to do? They're dwarves. And we've also got to remove all the microcline, etc., etc. Once this enormous 8 Z level high cistern is full, we will dump all of the water in it at once down onto the magma and hopefully turn it into obsidian, allowing ourselves to dig out the sweet magma. The sweet magma, sweet adamantine. Sweet adamantine, ba ba ba, etc. I mean, we could start channeling out the the obsidian that we've already made, but I feel like that's going to be a fool's errand. I get the feeling that if we channeled out this square from above and the magma here and the water here met, it would result in a square of obsidian here rather than here, and I would ideally like the obsidian to spread so we can go deeper down and get all that sweet, sweet blue candy. Sweet blue candy. Boop, 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 boop. An adamantine emote. I suppose we could. I don't know how many slots I've got for emotes, to be honest. It all depends on how many subs you've got. I know I've gone past at least the first threshold for expanding the emote slots, but I don't know if I've filled them all. Let me have a quick look. Just for those of you who are interested, the 5 basic emotes I've got for my stream, for the subs, are these. Help me! Tacoma Games! The Triangle of Trouble. And, oh no! Of course, as we can all see here, oh no is the weakest of the emotes. I do want to replace that, so maybe we'll replace that with an adamantine emote? I don't know. I could have a little check as well just to see if I've got any unused emote slots. That's entirely possible. If I go to my streaming folder and open up my dashboard for Twitch, bear with me just a moment. We'll leave this game running in the background. There's no point getting too excited. In fact, if we do it while I'm looking at the microcline stockpile, we can see that, none of this is being dumped, so we need to put in some dump orders for stuff to happen. Inventory, there's the microcline, there it is. Shift D. Lovely, let's let that all unfold in the background while I take a peek at my emotes. What can I do? I think it's in community, ? Roles manager, channel points, followers list. I don't think it is. Content? How do I find my emotes? This is how often I check the back end on my Twitch stream. I'm sort of now wandering through menus going, hello? Does anybody know how to do this? I'm confused. Let's have a look at chat. Someone said something in OBS. More mandrills needed. We do need to add some mandrills to the options, don't we? Once I get round to doing more of the Lioran board pop-up stuff like the Racist Ghost and Conan, I think we will definitely be getting our mandrill back. Maybe without the shriek. I don't know how effective the shriek was in the audience because I couldn't hear it, but I know what the sound effect sounded like, and it wasn't pleasant. That's the main thing. I'd love to see an emote of you making that asthmatic dolphin noise. High res, of course. Well, you can only go so high res with emotes. That's the thing. They are like a fixed pixel density, so we can't actually do too much with them. But I'll give it a go. Oh, there's a message in the Discord as well. What's this? It's Ocelot with an ex-militia commander. What's this? I have to look at that. In a strange mood, wanting skulls. Oh dear. Oh, okay. Intriguing. Sorry, Ocelot's just putting something in the Discord there about Dwarf Fortress, and if you want to know what that was, well, just join the Discord. I'm a master marketer, me. You're not going to escape my Discord. No, it's going to pull you in like a black hole. I'm going to leave little ideas hanging on the edge of it that make you go, what's he talking about? Maybe I should have a little look. Maybe I should peek in there and find out what's going on. Yeah, clever, isn't it? Anyway, they're moving this microcline, and I've stopped looking for my emotes, haven't I? Come on, scoundrels. Try and stay on target, just for at least one Death Star trench run. Insight, Stream Manager, Preferences, Content. Surely they'll be here, right? Collections, Clips, Video Producer? No. Streaming Tools, Extensions. Creator Camp? What's Creator Camp? Do you think I should be sent to Creator Camp? Doesn't sound like a lot of fun. Sounds like they're punishing you for something. Oh, no, it's just a website with loads of stuff about how to stream on Twitch. Well, I think I've got past that that level. I'm streaming. I am streaming, aren't I? Hello? Is anybody there? Oh my god, have I been talking to myself for 3.5 hours? Probably. Yeah? No? Oh, sorry. I think it might be time to stop the stream because I've been yelled at from downstairs, which means I've not done something I was supposed to do. It's probably because my phone is on charge behind me and I haven't looked at it. Oops. This is a bad sign. Bear with me one moment. Let me just go and find out what the request was. It elicited a fuck's sake, so it's got to be something bad that I've done. Or rather, obviously not done. Let's have a little peek. Please put dinner on to keep warm. Sort dishwasher and set table. Well, fuck, I've probably dehydrated all the food in the slow cooker, haven't I? How long ago was that? Oh, an hour ago. Shit. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Should be in trouble. Maybe I'll stop looking up the emotes for now, and we'll think about maybe moving on with the stream and calling time, perhaps. Should we do that? Should we do that? Yeah. If anyone's interested in continuing the discussion of what emotes should and shouldn't be appearing on my channel, feel free to visit the Discord. There's no reason why you shouldn't.
Well, a stream I can actually watch live.
Oh, thank you, Eurypterus. And what a perfectly timed piece of irony there. That was splendid. Absolutely incredible. Because I am about to finish the stream. I've just been yelled at from downstairs for potentially burning the dinner. But thank you very much for the sub. And you know what? We've had a quite pleasant stream today. I think there'll be more daytime Dwarf Fortress coming in the near future. We shall see. Having burned the dinner, maybe I won't be able to tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. We shall see. Shall we take a little look at the Twitch listings and see who's playing Dwarf Fortress? Because we can send a raid off. I don't know how many people are watching, but I think it would be nice to find somebody who's also streaming Dwarf Fortress and send the audience over there. There's 137 people watching Dwarf Fortress. Holy shit. Big time. Blind is playing Dwarf Fortress. That explains the large numbers. Davanoid is playing. TCM Scooty, IT Box, Ancient Chemist, and the Purple Cow, who's starting soon, apparently. I mean, anybody got a preference? Anybody have a preference? I tell you what we're going to do, now that we know we're finishing the stream and we're raiding, let's do a quick recap of what's happening in the fortress. Microcline is being hauled. Fantastic. That's fantastic. It's being brought from down here. It looks like there's not an enormous quantity of it left to be moved, but also they're not digging out the waffle drains, which is a problem. We do need to redesignate those by the look of it. Bit of a shame, but never mind. And so, though we haven't made any sort of progress in terms of finishing anything, we've set a bit of groundwork for progress in the future, right? The next Dwarf Fortress stream may well be the one where we finally find out if we're going to get that adamantine. Because frankly, if it turns out that this dousing operation doesn't work, I'm probably going to knock the adamantine on the head and just crack open the candy and let the fortress fall. Because, Lord knows, 30 sessions on a single fortress is getting a bit long in the tooth, isn't it? Of course, if people want to vote for for clemency, if they want me to not destroy the fortress, then, you know, they can do that. Maybe I'll listen. Who knows? It is a public forum, after all. Anyway, now that we've done that little review, let's press escape, let's go down to save, and let's take the home screen, or take us back to the home screen. There we go. So, where's my face? There's my face in my face. Brilliant. So, we're going to choose someone. Anyone said anything in chat? Euryptus was watching earlier. Phew. Thank you very much. Vera Mamu says, go save your marriage. I mean, technically incorrect because we're not married and never will be, but, you know, I appreciate the sentiment. Thank you very much. I, of course, am opposed to marriage on a fundamental level. It's a daft tradition and I will not engage with it. To the point where I don't go to my friends' weddings, which can be a bit controversial. Anyway, where were we? We were looking for someone to raid, weren't we? Now, Temptation says, go raid Blind. Blind's a lovely chap. Blind streams a lot of Dwarf Fortress. Blind's got a lot of viewers. It might be fun. Go in there, meet a few new friends. Have a lot of fun times. But I'm guessing a lot of you have seen Blind before. And it's not like he needs the love. I mean, he'd probably enjoy the love. Don't get me wrong. But it's not like he needs the love. Whereas Davinoid's sitting pretty down here with 9 viewers. TCM Scooty with 7. And IT Box and everyone after that has only got 1 viewer. Who do we raid? Who do we apply the love to? I mean, Davinoid looks like he's put quite a bit of effort into his overlays. He's framed everything nicely. He's got a lot of data knocking around. Makes it easier to live with foreigners. The band? Not the band, surely. What did Foreigner do? It wasn't, it was Europe who did the final countdown, wasn't it? Foreigner did something else. You're as cold as ice. Was that Foreigner? I can't remember. So where are we going? Actually, you're true. I see what you're saying now. Marriage does make it easier to live with foreigners. That's very true. If you want to get someone into your country, marry him. Marry him, for fuck's sake. I've got no problem with that. But personally, I'm not that keen on the whole thing. Seems like a lot of faff for not much. Seeing as nobody's saying anything in chat onto the matter, let's raid. Come on, scoundrel, make a mind up. Right, we'll rule out Blind. We'll rule out Blind. It's between Davinoid and... Just couldn't live with my wife without marriage. Well, that makes sense. I mean, if it's a preventative thing, the lack of marriage, just go with it. Go with the flow. But I'm lucky here. We're allowed to live in sin. Do what we fucking like, because we're both English. Both from the same place, rather. That sounded bad. Me saying we can do what we fucking like because we're both English. It evokes a lot of bad attitudes held by my countrymen throughout history, doesn't it? It makes me sound like a bit of a prick. What a fool. What a terrible thing to say. I do apologise to anybody hurt by that. Anyone living in a post-colonial society that has been torn asunder by the metaphorical penis of Britain. What? Anyway, we're going to raid, after talking about metaphorical penises, metaphorical state genitalia, let's move on. We're going to raid Davinoid because I've been to his channel before, we've raided him, we know he's not a terrible person, so let's do it. Let's do it. /RAID space DAVEANOID. Davinoid, there we go. The raid is prepping. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. It has been a genuine pleasure streaming for you. Hopefully you've enjoyed it too. Hopefully you'll come back and watch a bit more Dwarf Fortress or whatever nonsense I'm engaging in. Who knows? I could be doing all sorts of craziness. Daytime streams usually revolve around things like Red Dead, that kind of thing. But, you know, Dwarf Fortress seems to get a few viewers, so why not? Why not? Once again, thank you very much for watching. It has been a pleasure, and I'll see you on the other side of the raid. Bye! Enjoy Davinoid. Bye, 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 bye! And those of you watching the recording, bye-bye to you.